Grogu is my apprentice. He is no longer a foundling. Add him to the song.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed. He must remain a foundling.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here, if they are even alive.
Then I will adopt him as my own.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son. You are now Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
This is the way.
You must leave Mandalore and take your apprentice on his journeys, just as your teacher did for you.
This is the way.
A long time ago in theaters far, far away, 4 nerds got swept up by one of the greatest pop culture waves in cinema history. Now, as adults with a lifetime of fandom under their belts, they get together and discuss the mythology, characters, and business of creating Star Wars. Turn up your headphones, dial back your sensibilities, and join the wretched hive of scum and villainy as we take the low road to resistance.
This is episode 9 of season 4 of Force Insensitive, a Star Wars podcast. We are live, streaming live. We have our season 3 wrap-up show. We have guests galore. We have poop jokes, dick jokes, I'm sure, and hopefully a little bit of insightful conversation will be peppered in there. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. And you know what? We have so much to get into. We're going to talk all about The Mandalorian Season 3. We better get set up for our attack run right away. This is Black and Blue Leader standing by.
Millennial Falcon standing by.
Green Sativa, represent.
Mad Monkey and Niwa here on the Dup Down.
Rouge One standing by.
And yes, we are joined by Rouge One, who is Rachel from the Zombie Girls, a good friend of my other show, Trick or Treat Radio, and we've been nerding out about The Mandalorian here and there, and figured it was about time. We tried to make this happen for Andor, but scheduling didn't allow. Were you heartbroken
one of the great
about that?
heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Yes, because I had a lot of thoughts and feelings, so many feelings. I've never cried over a brick until Andor. So
Rocky has he's probably cried over a brick of marijuana, right, Rock? Because it's so good.
I'm not positive that's how it comes.
I'm doing it now. You just can't see my face.
We can't hear your face either.
That
But
was
we can
it.
hear you a little bit.
this is the way, Ron.
Yeah. I see some other helmets. See, this is cool. So we get to see is that Bo-Katan and Boba Fett? Who's the other one? Is it Din Grogu? Is it Din
Bo
Grogu?
and Din. Boba's over there. I'll go get him in a minute. This is mine.
And that's the green sativa Mandalorian helmet?
100%. You can't see the green, but it's there.
Why can't we see the?
Because it's dark.
Because it's a state of being, a state of mind.
Yeah.
More theoretical.
Oh, and I
It's a
forgot
way of life.
to mention our other guests. We're joined by Din Grogu, who doesn't have a microphone, so that's unfortunate. He's just gotta be staring off into space, looking at us, and enjoying the conversation as we go.
I don't have a microphone either. Does that mean I don't have to talk?
Well, since we hear you, you're a big
Or a
fat liar.
headset or anything.
What?
Or a headset or anything. I'm without all my things.
Why are you wearing a mask? You're home
Why
alone.
aren't you wearing a mask?
You're home alone.
Goddamn libertarian.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Already off the rails.
Do you feel like because we're doing a live show that other people can breathe on you? That's not how that works, Mars.
I know.
Okay.
Why
But
aren't you
yet,
wearing a mask?
Yet still you're wearing a mask.
I don't know. Somebody could come in here at any time and murder me or breathe on me or whatever.
I think wearing a mask is the least of your concerns if that happens.
I forgot my veneer at home, Wolfie. I'm embarrassed. Pro wrestling was very bad to me. And age. All those things were bad.
Everything.
It
Huh?
makes me want to kiss you more, Marv.
Oh God, you sound like a fucking creeper.
Do you love
I
me,
get sick.
Jonathan?
Yeah, what is that, Rachel? It looks like the Ewoks. You come to Van, I have candy.
Yeah. I mean, it was either this one or Prepare Your Anus, I'm Coming in Hot, and I decided, it's a first impression. I'm going to go with candy instead.
Well, after the first hour, you can always change it.
True. I mean, you got to it's like the bases. You got to work your way around them, and I don't want to go straight to third base with you guys, so. Because I'm a lady, and that's how we behave.
I'm already really.
You're already what? All right. He said, I'm already blah, 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 blah. We didn't hear anything else. And then he puts on his mask. And
People are talking about off-color things. People
have you been on this show before, Mars?
I've been trying not to, but you keep calling.
Actually, I don't. You're the one that came back.
You keep calling from Alberto's number and begging me to come back.
You know what? I can get Mars in the mood.
Whoa, you're going to get him in the mood?
Yeah, you ready?
You sound really quiet all of a sudden, Rocky.
Oh my God.
Mars, you know you want to come over here, Bobby. You know you want it. So be a gentleman. And we'll be good, okay?
Oh my God.
Is that a Rancor?
You can't tell the difference?
The Rancor's butthole?
You know, Mars, come to Dathomir where the real dark side is, baby.
The joke's
Oh
on
my
him
God.
because on my screen, that Rancor has a trick-or-treat radio butthole.
I think
It's the radio watermark.
I didn't know we were doing endorsements, but that seems like right up our alley.
the fuck. I don't know.
Mike.
That's a Skype thing. Nobody sees that, Mars. So
Oh, I did, and now I didn't see whatever Rocky was doing. And
you have to go back and watch.
Because I turned my volume down, the closed captions seemed like they automatically came on the Facebook page, and
I gotta go.
it just says butthole on my phone. Frozen in my phone.
Even Alberto's kind of grinning, man.
Yeah.
Take a picture of that shit. It actually happens.
If
He
people,
looks like anorexic Mark Maron while he's doing it, but
Oh my God. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Fuck.
The specificity of the burns on this show is very impressive.
why don't you just play some Huey Lewis in the News and dance us out?
I think Alberto's gonna need a new drug after this episode.
Yeah.
I got something special
All
for
of
Alberto
them.
later.
Great. I can't help but notice that everyone gave me the high hat about keeping safe with my awesome mask and definitely not hiding my missing lost front teeth. But nobody said anything about Alberto's fucking winter hat on the inside. It's
Maybe it's cold. I don't know what temperature it is.
he's only
up there.
like a few miles away from me, I think. It's not cool. I have the door open behind me.
I can still smell him on the wind, Johnny. He hasn't gotten far
Maybe-
enough away from me.
Maybe he's got the AC on.
Why are you
What-
so cold, Alberto?
What do you think about that, huh?
Maybe I'm.
Perfect. You're
I don't
maybe
even know.
you're
Like, don't go to bed.
Alberto's a cold-hearted snake. Look into his eyes.
Wait. I just checked
He's
my
been
weather.
telling lies.
It's 49 degrees up there.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking nice. It's me weather perfectly.
That's
Every
perfect.
window
That's
open in this
perfectly
house.
acceptable for Alberto
know.
to wear a hat. But what
I can
about
wear a hat
What about Rocky?
Whenever I want to.
Yeah,
Rocky
Rocky's wearing a
lives
hat.
in the fucking Hoth.
He's got like the same weather as us.
I don't have Hoth. I have
Mostly.
windows open now. The door is open. I almost did this on the porch, but there's somebody outside doing construction late at night or something, or a crazy ape is on a rampage.
Or hiding a body.
I don't see anybody hiding a body.
Is it Gape Ape on a rampage?
Jesus.
I don't like when you say that.
I feel like this is going to be used as an evidence in a court of law at some point. I'm going to be subpoenaed as a witness to whatever's happening.
You had a chance to leave. It's fucking late now. People have seen your
Oh,
face.
no.
They know you
Yep.
were here.
Yep, there goes. There goes
Yep,
my
well, you know who
reputation.
they-
I might as well stick it out.
You know who they're not going to
I
get?
hope you do lots of cardio because running is key.
You know who they're not going to identify?
What, the Great Muda? What is that you just did?
It's mysterious. I have a mask.
Okay. Okay.
I won't have a boner for years after that.
Anyway, drinking anything good? See you later, Wolfie. Damn.
What?
You disappeared on my screen for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
It's fucking awesome.
For some reason my Skype just like turned off, so I had to restart, and I have to reset everybody's fucking camera. Jesus.
Don't worry about me.
Welcome to Net Tech Talk.
This is one of those weeks that if I was home, I would put the stuffed monkey in front of the camera and just do it from the other side of the iPad.
Well, I gotta do
I
something.
just fucking put on a real person clothes to do this show. Brush my
Alright.
teeth for some reason, even though nobody
Those are
can
real
smell my
person
bad breath.
clothes?
Why are we here again? Oh yeah. We're here talking
Who are
about
you
Star
people?
Wars, right?
I thought this was Mars's
Supposedly.
intervention. I have a list of all the things he's done that's harmed me. We're not going to do that?
What did I do?
We'll get into it when we get there.
Wow.
No.
I love how sometimes, like, you keep finding people that I'm being the most pure and innocent one. I'm the one that upsets everyone.
Pure and innocent.
We grading on a curve for that?
Dead man's curve. Show me on the Grogu where
I don't
Mars
talk about
touched
you.
No,
Turn it
you
around.
can't touch. You can't touch Grogu there. That's not nice.
I would never. I'd hold his hand, though. Man, who told Rocky to start smoking like 2 hours before the show?
2 hours. He's been smoking for 2 weeks. Now that he's got back from vacation, he couldn't smoke. All right.
Some people.
I don't
some-
believe in marijuana, Rocky.
You
some
don't
people-
believe in it?
You don't have to believe it. It exists, man. Look at this. That's real magic, mother,fucker.
That looks like a cinnamon thing.
All right. We have a
Harry Potter ain't got shit on this. I promise you.
Fuck.
we have a comment already. It's our boy Double D.
It's the cops.
Double D says, "Hey guys, what's up? Did I just hear a Rancor impression?"
Oh my
Is there a way I could turn off Rocky's camera?
Nope. Hey, everyone agreed to do a live show, so it's that means you agreed too, Mars.
I don't know if that's exactly how it went. Like, you were arguing about the time when I came on, and I was like, "What's going on, guys?" You said, "What time is better for you for a live show?" And I panicked and said, any time is good.
You said I loved live shows.
No, I actually said I hate live shows because I don't like people to look at me.
You told me you couldn't
You're
wait
like
to see
Elephant
my
Man.
bird.
Don't look at me.
Hey, it's not a moth.
I don't play
I'm
live
not a
music
Mars. Is that what
anymore.
you
I
said?
don't do video podcasts.
All right. Well, we're here not to just for yucks and making fun of each other. We're here to talk about The Mandalorian season 3. So last week, or I guess just a few days ago, we had the season finale. We have now had a few days to digest the entirety of the season. We have maybe talked to some people about it. Maybe we watched some videos, listened to some podcasts, or you know what? Maybe we didn't think about it at all because it wasn't memorable. Who knows? But we will be talking about the season in totality. All 8 episodes are on the board, and we're going to talk about just overall what we thought about the season. I have a feeling I know some of the directions we're going to go, but it'll be interesting to get some different perspectives. I know Mars wasn't here for every episode. I think you missed the first few, and
I missed all but I missed all but 2.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you missed the Jack Black one.
Maybe.
I think you weren't here for the discussion, is what I mean. So there's a lot on the table. I want to talk about what we might see in the future for a season 4 or Dave Filoni's movie. I don't know what the order of things are going to be. I imagine we'll get another season before we get the movie, but who knows? So there's a lot of stuff on the table here, and what I want to do is let's start. We normally do first impressions, and I know that's we've already talked about all the episodes already, but now that we've had a few days to digest the season, just want everyone to kind of just talk about the entirety of the season and kind of what you thought, your takeaway from the season overall. So how about you, Rock? Why don't you go ahead and kick us off and let us just kind of like first impression style like we do on the normal show. But as you've had some time to digest now, what do you think of the season in totality?
My first impression of this season of Force Insensitive, it sucks. We should stop. Mandalorian is pretty cool. I enjoyed this season. I think this season, I'm used to Filoni giving you so many things that you don't expect are going to get called back later. And this has been the first season of The Mandalorian where it didn't quite do that. Like, there legitimately were some decisions of storytelling this season that once we reached the end, I was expecting to come back and mean something that just didn't. So I think that's why it kind of affected how I felt about the finale this year. But first impression of the season as a whole, that's pretty much where I stand. Not that it was bad, just that they made some choices that I'm still curious about.
All right. And by the way, you I don't know why, but your microphone doesn't sound as good as it normally does. I don't know if it's just not close enough or something, or if it's Skype fucking with it, but it could be
Skype.
That sounds better, actually. Maybe just
okay.
Yeah, that's better. Okay.
Well, I was fucking around with helmets and shit earlier,
Yeah.
so everything was all fucked up. Fuck you, Johnny, because I'm trying to bring some entertainment into the fucking show, but fuck you, all right? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to go over here and get high with my friends. Double D, I love you, but these fuckers, well, new people withstanding.
May I go before I fall asleep?
Yes, Mars, you may.
So, Wolfie, I'm really upset about a bunch of stuff that I wasn't promised. Sorry, that's my impersonation of Rocky's first impressions. I don't know. I don't feel like. I feel like when you give surprises and callbacks all the time, they start to lose their value. So I don't know if this was an edict for this season or whatever else, but I didn't mind that we got. We didn't get any like, oh my God, this is that thing or this is that character or whatever else. We got an awesome, concise science fiction samurai western, and I'm totally dug it. This might be my second favorite season.
Okay.
I like jetpacks, and I like redheads with lasers. So,
You like toaster jetpacks?
duh.
Don't get me wrong. In all my love of Mandalorian lore throughout the god awful amount of time I've been in love with Star Wars, that part did hit on all cylinders. Do not get me wrong. It's not that it was a bad season. I just had a couple of questions about some choices. But I'm with you. Jetpacks are cool. At my advanced years, those are one of the few things that give me wood. So
I just turned 35.
He needs a jetpack
so-
to get it up.
Yeah.
He straps a jetpack on that thing.
Honey, where's my flamethrower?
Where's my grappling hook? This jetpack ran out of steam.
Yo, man, you know if there's a gas station on that ridge over there?
Rocky, do they have AARP in Canada?
Canada, AARP.
Mm-hmm.
Not as such.
You want to
but
make sure you're still going to be be part of a club when you go to Canada, Mars?
It's true. You fucking laugh, but as soon as I got that thing, I signed up for it. I'm getting fucking extra pancakes. Getting
I'm kidding. I'm getting extra pancakes.
It is a pancake hustle.
Who sounds like the stoner at this moment?
Pancake hustle. Mars is running a pancake hustle.
I'll be able
Pancake
to ride the train for cheaper. Like, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Being 3/4 dead is.
I'm gonna get on the train to get some pancakes.
I'm not getting on a plane or a jetpack
Why wouldn't you get on a jetpack?
because I don't like to do dangerous things in my frail condition. I'm pregnant. Okay?
Is it Grogu's baby?
Suddenly Alberto turned from the camera.
Yeah. Alberto's like, I don't want a brother.
It's not mine.
I don't want a dad either.
And I have osteoporosis. Everything's going poorly.
Portly?
Portly. And I'm portly.
No, you're not poorly. You're like a skeleton now.
It's dying has its benefits.
So, Uncle Fester, what's season 2 of Wednesday gonna be like?
Just like Tuesday, but a little bit more like
Jesus
Thursday.
Christ. All right, Alberto, how about you?
Looking back, they really should have all the crap that they crammed into Book of Boba Fett for no reason. There was no reason it couldn't have been in this season.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Like there was so much extra chaff that they could have cut.
Mhm.
Like
I agree with that.
The subplot with Kane that's her name, right?
Oh,
Elia
Ilya
Kane,
Kane. Yeah.
L.A. Kane.
I agree. completely, bro.
That could have just been a B plot, like through the first couple
Right.
episodes. Like
Agreed.
it didn't need to be an entire episode. Like as much as I liked the Jack Black episode, it just kind of seemed random. Like
It was like that and the one with the giant bird were like two different episodes. They were like tonally and otherwise. They like were like two entirely different episodes. Like they had a Scooby Doo, and then they had this tense meeting with the Mandalorians, and then they went and fucking had a bad Andor episode, and then they went and hunted a pterodactyl and took its kids and ate it.
Yes.
Well, maybe. We don't know for sure if they ate
I'm
it.
pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
That's fucked up. That is fucked
Fell
up.
in
It's
on
true.
a spit.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
They weren't fucking flying around with the jetpacks, that's for sure.
That's how they cooked them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry, Alberto. That was a really good point. I don't like this season anymore. This sucks.
Well, I mean, like you could have still had Din Djarin. Can't call him Din anymore.
I
That's
know.
confusing.
So is Din his surname?
Apparently. I mean, you could have still had him in Book of Boba Fett just kind of show up, but like,
Yeah.
you didn't need all the subplot.
Right.
You didn't need it to act like a vehicle to reunite them, because you could have just done something else.
That could have been done in a fucking hollow message and been done. Because all he would have to do is place a call to Den and be like, yo, my shit's fucked up. I need some help.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I don't. It just highlighted like the last 2 episodes kind of saved the season, obviously, but the it just highlighted the fact that like we already thought that felt out of place.
Well, we talked about that point ad nauseum last week, is about they could have stretched the entire Mandalore issue into 3 solid seasons with a little of that subplot splashed in, and it would have flowed so much nicer.
But I like, at first I was like, they went to Mandalore and like found the waters like way too quick. But now I'm thinking like maybe that was meant to be like episode 3, and episode 1 and 2-ish were supposed to be those episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And looking at, or like hearing about like how the viewership is like way down this season, I wonder if people are just getting franchise fatigue from it, because like I've stopped pretty much watching anything Marvel related, because if you miss one thing, you are so out of the loop. And before, it was like, you could skip a couple movies here and there and still, like, you wouldn't get the full experience, but you wouldn't feel like, oh my god, I have no clue who these people are or what's going on. Like, you can't watch the newest Doctor Strange movie without watching WandaVision. Like, the movies just, like, they don't exist on their own. And I think people are starting to feel that way about the Star Wars stuff. Like, Andor kind of, you got to watch Rogue One, obviously, but that exists mostly on its own. But like, if you had no interest in Book of Boba Fett and then you went and watched season 3 of Mando, you're like, wait, what happened? It's like you missed an entire season of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, you have to. I get in this argument a lot about AEW and all the people who say that, like, oh, well, they're not doing things like the way that they've done television wrestling all along. But I think that there is a curve to this type of storytelling in having to re-educate the audience that this is like these shows. Maybe they should have like a surname or something, like say Mando World, Book of Boba Fett, or whatever else to make people like know to go there more. I don't yet, as we talk about a lot, I don't particularly prescribe to needing to really talk down to the audience, but I feel like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But I don't know that, like, I don't necessarily, I don't want to say I agree or disagree, because you certainly, as much as anyone, or more than anyone, in my humble opinion, Alberto, have the right to your opinion. But I think that this is what they're doing, right? Like, they didn't do it wrong. Maybe we don't like it or we're not used to it, but what they're doing now is that they are telling stories over multiple programs in the same audience.
Well,
I don't know, man. I think you can't have the climax of your flagship show on another show and then not even explain it and not even tell people where they can find it. Like they're even in the recap at the beginning of the season, they didn't even say like, hey, this is on Book of Boba Fett or previously on Book of Boba Fett, nothing. And there's a series of huge cliffhangers that are introduced at the end of the first or season 2 that they either showed on another show or they just like, it's nothing. And I feel like that is a sign of poor writing. And I think Favreau also kicked off the Marvelverse. He wrote and directed Iron Man, and
which you have a really good point, because the Marvelverse is not very well linear.
He's good at starting things. I'm starting to wonder if he has trouble landing the X-wing. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying Jon Favreau has trouble finishing?
Yes.
Well, Filoni does. He's 900.
You heard it here first, folks.
Is that why he has a partner in Filoni? He steps in.
Well, I mean, you notice this is the season Filoni was super busy, right? Like, he's off doing Ahsoka, and I said what I said.
He just left
Rocky,
the hat.
I said what I said.
I just don't think. I think that we may not like it, or we don't think that it's good, and they may not be. I mean, there's going to be a curve, right? But I'm not as personally. I guess I'm just not as annoyed, and maybe because I'm a comic guy, and that's a comic thing, and the fact that stories will happen over multiple titles and over multiple things, and it doesn't really shake me. But what I don't want, is, and I would stop watching because of this. I skipped the recap that they already have. What I don't want is last week on Book of Boba Fett, Mr. Drummond brought Din Djarin to the back of the bike shop.
Wait, what?
What
the fuck did Mr. Drummond show up?
Showed him a Mickey Mouse.
On a very special episode of Mandalorian.
So I don't know. I'm brought back to when people were pissed that Ahsoka showed up in Mandalorian and people didn't know.
I do remember Grogu going into that speeder shop.
Right.
Speeder
Because
shop.
they didn't watch Clone Wars, and I would rather be rewarded for watching things than punished for or
But it feels
condescended
like this
to
weird
for not.
cash grab. I can feel the capitalism in that choice as opposed to a creative choice. It's like you can't just cancel your subscription to Disney Plus because we're just going to put the end of the show you care about in another show.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Otherwise they would give it away. So there's definitely probably an element of that, but that's sort of that goes without saying. They were doing it for money before anybody was making good shows. I don't know.
I want
if you
the
remember
veneer
things
that this is about creative expression.
I don't know
let
if
me
you've
believe the
ever
lie.
I don't know if you've ever seen the WB, but they fucking put out all sorts of crazy shit and don't care, about
WB that.
Racist frog.
I think that the fact that television, be it streaming or even at the cinema, is commerce. I think is always part of the pudding. So I
You
think
love
that
pudding.
The pudding.
Don't
you mean the yogurt?
The pudding? I always do that. Cumber's was definitely part of your pudding.
But I think that I just think that I don't know. I think that I remember people, and I'm not, this isn't 100 years ago. This is,
Back in my day.
Being pissed that I remember me being pissed that you have to watch every episode of a show now to see the show. I miss Monster Week shows and
you miss
X-Files,
Quantum Leap.
else. I like some Quantum Leap a little bit, but I think that this is the next natural succession of shows like The Sopranos or Walking Dead, where you don't get to watch a episode of it.
But that's not what the show is. The show is you have to watch that and then 5 other shows that you don't necessarily care about.
Right.
Well,
and it's fine for some people, but I think people liked season 1 because it felt like its own thing. And Star Wars has never been there's been many sequels, but Mando was the first TV show, and you could skip all the animated stuff and not really.
Apparently not. People were up in arms.
Well, I mean, up until
people on the internet mad about Star Wars? I can't even
unbelievable,
imagine that.
Yeah.
What heresy are you discussing right now?
Prove it. Prove
Star
it.
Wars fans are the best.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that I hope those people that I'm mad about Star Wars die.
As a matter of fact, we have some Star Wars internet fans right here who can tell you.
You look like someone is shining a flashlight.
We just take your money, and we on the internet mad.
I think we're getting, and it's my fault, but I think we're getting.
That's the Sarlacc pit, ladies and gentlemen. Those not watching video.
That's right.
Trying to take the comments.
I need you to stop that. It's awakening something in me.
I do think that this is this is what they're doing.
Well, I'm just pointing out that clearly people probably don't like it.
I love that there is a serious conversation going on, and Rocky is talking.
Nothing stops Mark. He's just going ahead.
Rocky
No
is talking
Sarlacc pits.
through a
He's
Sarlacc pit.
Rachel, you have to understand, I was on Trick or Treat Radio for 8 years. If you breathed for a minute, and
It wasn't 8
Wolfie that
years.
came down,
You
it
let
was 8 years. 7, 6.
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. And if you stopped then, there'd be just inane shit that would happen.
Well, you don't
So
have to
I
make fun of my other show to make a point. Like, that's kind of
No.
a dick move, even though you're on it.
You can make fun of him directly.
Yeah, I mean, you make fun of
That's
me.
the
That's
beauty of
fine.
this show.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun. I'm just telling the truth.
From a certain point of view.
But I just don't think that. I don't think that was as big a deal, apparently, as you guys do.
Okay.
I want to hear more from the Sarlacc pit.
But they didn't.
What is the Sarlacc's pit take on this?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I will agree that I feel like Alberto's right. They didn't. There wasn't anything in. There's a lot of stuff in this show that stuff could have been instead. That I agree with 100%.
I'm getting engaged with the Sarlacc pit. I don't want eye contact. I just want to say that for the record.
Do not stare into
Anonymous Sarlacc pit
Yeah.
only.
Don't stare into its hole.
It's okay, man. We just go on chill. Shit. It's all right. Just relax. Enjoy the show. It's going to be a good time.
He's gonna burn his house down.
Worth it.
He's gonna burn
Worth it.
him
That
down.
joke was worth it.
So for anyone not watching the video, you're not going to understand what the fuck is going on.
Nor
So-
do you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, even people watching the video have no fucking clue what's happening.
I'm on this show.
We don't know what's happening right now.
All right. Before
My point of this is to always make Johnny rethink the idea of going live with
Yeah.
any of this ever again in the future.
See,
You-
next time we need to coordinate, Rocky. 'Cause I feel like,
We're on a mission from God.
yeah, Lord's work.
All right, before we continue on with everyone's take on the season, there's a few comments in the chat room. We got our boy Joshua Libre hanging out. What's up, Joshua Libre? And he says established character cameos should be the gravy on these shows, not young gravy, though.
No.
Oh yeah,
Oh, here we
I
go.
wasn't expecting a
yeah.
young gravy reference, but
Man,
wait, do you have a young
the
gravy?
podcast where condiments come to be defiled. Like, no condiment is safe.
No condiment is safe.
Do you not have a gravy box?
What?
Is that
That's
like a bread
Only on the
box?
weekends.
Holy shit. All right, we have to remove somebody from the show. Rachel's on full time. Someone just got kicked off.
See, I will accept when you go to a point where it's like, yep, I think that's an exclamation point. Moving on.
Wow. All right.
Mars has got a glorious gravy box.
By the way, nothing is happening on the Facebook
That's
one
the episode title.
unless I broke it.
We're done.
Glorious
here's done.
gravy box.
I don't know if you caught that, Wolfie, but
I did,
nothing's
yeah.
happening on Facebook. But I might have broke it.
No, yeah, nothing's going on Facebook. I do have some comments on YouTube, though. There's some more.
Oh
And,
yes, confidence.
Double
Thank you,
D.
Joshua Libre.
Double D says, thinking back in retrospect, Alberto had a good point. They should have left the Grogu episodes out of the Book of Boba Fett and include it in Mando Season 3. I know that would have sucked for the Book of Boba Fett because they were the best episodes, but still. Joshua Libre says, yeah, agree. Ideally, that would be more well-structured. And then he added, Gary Coleman was in an episode of Buck Rogers.
Oh shit, he was. That's right.
Did he play that robot?
No, dude. First of all, his name is Tweaky.
I like those. Devil dogs, Tweakies, the whole 9 yards.
I stuck a whole Twinkie in my butt.
Twinkies with extra
Bush
gravy.
rolls, fucking roast snowball things. I like those too.
They call him Snowball.
Ding dongs with extra gravy and a side of snowballs.
Ding dongs, man, ding dong. my complaint about those Book of Boba Fett episodes where they weren't good
It's
episodes.
not going like normal. How are you done?
I love
I
you
don't
so
know how
much,
you do
Mark. I
it.
just want to lick your unibrow.
I don't even have any eyebrows, let alone an eyebrow. Did I
It's
grow
all
a
skin.
unibrow? Did I get a unibrow from not eating candy anymore?
You got a unibrow from this episode. It's gravy though.
It's a gravy brow.
Gravy brow.
I did get a cookie puss.
No condiment left behind.
Fuck all you guys. Did you get a cookie puss? Did you get a cookie puss? Did you get a cookie puss? No, I got a cookie puss.
There's a fucking homemade cookie puss too.
That sounds like a porn chub hat. Porn.
You won't hear it, but there's about to be dramatic music in honor of my cookie puss.
If I had a nickel for every time I said that, I would have 0 nickels, but I'm going to have one tomorrow.
I can't even give that shit away at the Port Authority, man.
The porn authority?
The Port Authority?
Is that an
It
elected
seems like a place
official,
where
or-
random vaginas would be talked about. I don't know.
He says like he doesn't know.
Okay.
It might be.
I was in my 20s and I needed the money.
Oh my god. Gay Paper's gonna be hopping tomorrow.
Hey, man, Berto, look up some of this shit on Rule 34. We need to know.
There is a bunch of
Gay
people
Pape
with
and the
like
cookie
those
puss?
signs that look like they're picketing at the bottom of my during the day anyway, at the bottom of the street saying like this person for like school board or whatever else. Like tomorrow I'll make sure to look and see if anyone is running for porn authority.
If not, I know a man for that job.
Oh fuck.
You guys
Johnny
are
Long
fucked up.
John for porn authority.
Johnny Long John. All right. I think Alberta was done. I think Alberta, were you?
I don't even know anymore.
John.
I literally
Just
woke up
left
today
his
and said,
body.
I'm not going to interrupt Alberta.
He's just
And now he
done.
fucking blew it.
He's
He
just
was
painting
done 3 years
miniatures
ago.
and pretending he's not a part of this anymore.
It's usually
That's
what I do.
He hates the camera the most because
Yeah, we get to
he cannot prove he's not there.
Yeah, yeah.
I am positive like Alberta was left while we were
I could put a cardboard cutout here. I mean, like, who's gonna know?
Did Alberto fall asleep one time?
I've fallen asleep
Yeah,
many
Alberto
times.
did that. Sure.
No, I know I did.
That's Alberto that's done that, Mars.
Right.
Your name is Blue Narcolepsy. You get
fell
the
asleep.
irony in what you're about to say, right?
I fell asleep today driving. So,
Jesus Christ.
like that's, and I'm not even.
But
supposed
you're,
to be
yeah, I was
driving
gonna say
if
you're
I'm
not
awake.
supposed to be driving.
Yeah,
How does that
so-
work?
Well, so like I don't know if you know this, Wolfie, but if you put the key in the ignition and press one of those two small levers at the foot of the car, it'll move no matter who. It doesn't check and see if you have a license or not. I fished the other day and I don't have a fishing license. I had Alberto and I don't have a baby license.
That's like
Before you
Mars.
know.
Yeah, no, it's like Mars's rim shot. Bing!
I know. It's just a little fucking after-school infomercial music.
Yeah.
I'm a renegade. I can't help it. I'm a
You're,
rebel dog.
you're a renegade man.
I'm Lorenzo Lamas. Is that who was in that show?
My second cousin,
Wow.
Lorenzo Lamas.
For real?
Whoa! How am I just
Get the fuck
finding this
out,
out?
seriously?
Hold on. That was-
First of all, awesome. Second of all, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the correct statement. I'm not sure you got it in the right order, but
So, I thought I
Lorenzo
had the best
fucking
birthday
Lamas.
ever this year, but in 11 months, I have to have another one, apparently. Like, the only thing that could top this year is if Lorenzo Lamas comes to my house.
Well,
we'll
hey,
see what I can do.
yeah.
This is the fucking, you're my new best friend.
I'm sure he needs
See you later,
money.
Wolfie. Wolfie, number 2's not bad.
What?
What? Yeah.
Sign on your bathroom door? What is this?
So, I have a first best friend.
Taking number
Her
2
name is Rachel
away.
Lorenzo Lamas' cousin. And now I have a second best friend.
Excuse me, how dare you use my government name on the internet?
My government name.
And I have a second best friend named Johnny Wolfenstein, number 2.
You're my new best friend.
There you go, Mars.
It's true.
Mike
I taught
Allred
that.
is your friend too.
It's true. I topped that this year, though. Sorry, Mike Allred.
You
I
topped
got
it.
yes, I got birthday greetings from Bill Sienkiewicz,
That's cool.
famous Moon Knight author. Yeah. And Tommy Wildfire Rich, NWA champion. Fire him up, fire him up, fire him up.
I did not know this podcast was a musical. I need to start doing my warm-up vocals.
Oh boy.
You didn't know this was a musical show? You have really not listened to the right
Wait,
episode.
which
I
one?
guess not.
Which one should I play?
Sexual.
Play Mando Clan.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, I'll just play a little bit. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go.
That's one impressive weapon.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk to my ship with the kid, and you're gonna let it happen.
Mando. These are the spoils of the Great Purge. Our world was shattered by the Empire, with whom this coward shares tables.
Our secrecy is our survival. Our survival is our strength.
Our strength was once in our numbers.
Empire is no longer, and the Beskar has returned. When one chooses to walk the way of the Mandalore, you are both hunter and prey. How can one be a coward if one chooses this way of life?
All right. there's more, but yeah, we have I just gotta play the beginning of this one because this one's fucking hilarious too.
You ready, Alberta? It's your time to shine. Ready? Ready. Here we go.
Gonna bring it to pain. Mozzie falls asleep, brings tequila reeks. Wolfie hates his life, Birdo's a gungan, Saxon freaking Otto Ganga. Yeah, Otto Ganga, bring Musa to Musa.
Why is a tongue through paper always funny? It is guaranteed Oz.
Don't kink shame, Rachel.
I'm not kink shaming. I'm kink asking why.
I'm sorry.
Say.
Sorry, I've ruined this whole show. I've drank too much Dr. Pepper.
It's the only way we can get Mars's head to glisten.
I can't remember. Did we talk about this on the show? Because I recently found out that Brian Blessed did the voice of Boss Nass, or at least
I didn't know that.
I at least forgot or something.
We didn't. I think Koopy told us.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, I was like, what? Like, why would you get Brian Blessed for?
Feels like typecasting, but okay.
He is a pretty amazing actor, but
he actually didn't. He didn't audition for the role or anything. He didn't even know. They just recorded him in real life and just threw it in there.
I wish I had a Boss Nass one now.
Wait, while you have that one still, Rocky, let me just do one more real
Don't do
quick.
it. We have company. Don't do it.
Don't do what?
What I know it's gonna do.
Excuse me. It's a busting happiness seeing this again. Mr. Bombard and he is coming correct. Gungan's holding check. Boss Nass gonna up in your neck. Gungan's holding check. Peppy Bo make Berto erect. Gungan's holding check. Mozzie cause genocide me suspect. Gungan's holding check.
I get a paper cut on my tongue.
I feel like I'm on drugs. Am I on drugs?
Not a good one though.
There will be side effects.
Oh shit! Wait, what? There's one more. Why do we have so many?
No, I'm not doing that again.
Why do we have so many songs about Gungans?
Do we
Why
really?
are
Was
there
there
so
another one?
many songs about Gungans?
And what's on the yeah?
Why
That's an idea.
So many songs about
Forget about this.
You saw Gungan style.
You said Gungan style.
Oh my god.
I never when I
Sorry, we
started my
just
journey
tried to
as an
prove
artist-
Rachel right by like ruining the show.
Yeah.
when I started my journey as an artist or a broadcaster, I just didn't think this would be all.
I'm a professional journalist. That's what I do for a job.
Yeah. And she interviews celebrities.
Oh my God, that's-
I don't really
Now
have
I
a
can
job.
say I have spoken to a rancor's anus. Yeah. I have peaked. I have peaked.
I apologize, Rachel. I'm leaving.
No. I just said I peaked.
Remember that career you were all happy about? It's gone come Monday.
Yeah,
Just let you
yeah.
know.
I think Mars just
Yep,
peaked
on the
too.
internet.
What?
What?
When did Rocky turn into like Carrot Top with the fucking prop comedy?
Actually, about how long ago was that, Johnny, when I did that on the squeaky thing?
Oh yeah, it was a
When I
while.
did the
Yeah, it was a couple
mask.
years ago,
Yeah.
right? 3
That
years
was
Didn't
ago.
you do
right
a
when we
cover? Didn't
started
you do a
doing it.
song about me, as me? Isn't that what happened?
Yes, yes, I did. You are correct, sir.
My friends are awesome. This is why I wish I was dead.
I was kidding
It's
about this being
alright
an
to
intervention.
Crying takes the tears away.
Sad
It's
Fester
alright to
sings the
cry.
hits.
Crying takes the tears away.
Hello, I'm Bubble Freak. The freak, c'est chic. Bubble Freak. Bubble Freak. The freak, c'est chic. Bubble Freak. Your Jordan's down, machine parts everywhere. If you got the credits and need some repair, Wolfie is an angelic loving slut. Probably got you stuck up in his butt. Bubble freak. The freak, c'est chic. Bubble freak. The freak, c'est chic. Tu podniado mia tu babu a buke. Ei diga babu, ei tu nando uta. Tanga botica na tudo no. Uta bala dicta. Babu diga todo. Bubble freak.
All right. I love Anzellans.
Some might say a little too much. It's got a bit of that Alberto Gungan vibe to it these days.
Hey, Alberto's got his thing. I got mine, I guess.
And dude, and Mars is celebrity buttholes.
No,
Yo.
it's fake.
That was like
Fake celebrity
that was like a
bubbles.
season and a half of this of this fucking show was talking about your deep fake buttholes.
Yeah, I won awards.
It's a
I won
year and a
awards-
half.
I won awards for that. Like I really.
You
like,
won
I really
awards?
thought- like no one's
Pulitzer,
gonna mention that
Peabodys,
soon.
Avians.
That like oh my god, I saw Bill Cosby's I saw Claire Huxtable's butthole today on TikTok.
Of all people.
Claire
It was a fake one. It was another woman who superimposed her butthole on this Huxtable.
Why?
I don't know why
is
you would
this
do that
retarded?
either.
I'm
But
starting to
they
get
did.
worried that you gave me the name Rouge One. How many buttholes we're talking about? feel like
Okay.
maybe.
So
I've
you go on the internet and you're like, holy shit, I didn't think when I started today I was going to see someone from the Big Bang Theory's butthole, right? But
Speak for yourself.
but Alberto informed me
That's
that
my
was not
career.
a real butthole. That was a fake, deep fake butthole. So then I went.
I start every day off with a butthole bazinga. Okay, like that's
The butthole bazinga.
Is that what that's from?
Instead of Young Gravy, this is Young
I
Sheldon.
went on a crusade, as I would call it.
Crusade.
To show everyone, to make sure that the butthole that they saw.
It was the Crusades happened after.
Butthole.
The Crusades happened after this.
Yeah. So,
Great
like, to bring it back to the
set of suit of
Mandalorian,
armor.
the day I saw Din Djarin's butthole. I mean, the whole Din Djarin's a deep fake. That's like 3 different guys. You don't know who those 3 guys are. That is. Could be John Wayne's
Could you
kid's
imagine how
butthole.
awesome?
Could be Pedro Pascal's butthole. Could be that
Imagine how awesome
guy who had to
Luke
fight in the
Skywalker's
flood in
butthole
the
looks.
fire from Protector 2's butthole.
Oh god.
Like all those people who play Din Djarin. But thanks to me, people know his butthole, or they at least know to be conscious in their butthole.
I feel like I'm on a BART train right now. I don't.
This is like that scene in fucking Forrest Gump. Instead of shrimp, he's talking about buttholes.
I don't remember one butthole.
There's bleach buttholes, there's stretch buttholes,
Brazilian
there's
buttholes.
a la carte.
But
a roach one.
If I did see a butthole in Forrest Gump, I would be disgusted. Because there's a lot of precipitation.
Lieutenant Dan, you got a new butthole.
But
Butthole Gump.
So
that's it. He would have cosmetic surgery instead.
So I
of
think that now the world is a better place because they at least know to be wary of.
Life is like a box of buttholes.
I don't know.
You never know what it's going to smell like.
Said anything more true.
Don't push your finger down in the dark chocolate one.
I don't know why anybody lets me be on the radio, but they do.
You're like the score of this show. Like the show is happening, the action is happening, and then underneath it is Mars just talking about buttholes, like really, like erasing the emotions. Yeah, you're the score.
You've pretty much just summed up my whole entire radio career. It's been 20 years of talking about buttholes.
Oh God.
Well, I only talk about buttholes with the best. That's why I can't.
See what she said about you, Alberto?
You are the king of butthole conversations.
All right, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I promise.
No, that wasn't me telling you not to talk. I just was enjoying the dynamic.
Butthole.
Yeah.
He's the Bubba. Buttholes.
Bad baby. No, squeezy.
I wasn't in on Babu Freak, but that fucking dude from the Mandalorian, the old cat with the mustache.
Babu Freak?
Whoa,
What's
what?
that?
Did you say Babu Freak?
Yeah.
Babu Freak.
No, Freak. Well,
Freak.
Yeah.
He's Babu Freak to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny has a very special relationship with that character.
Yeah, he's a droid smith. What?
And that's the same last name as people related to Johnny.
Yeah, droid smith. There you go. All right. Well, hey, I think we got about 20 minutes off track, and Alberto had just.
You want to know what I thought of
Yes, that's actually what I was gonna do.
Yeah, I think we got time for that.
So
I feel like we wrap it up while we're ahead. I mean,
I'm gonna go take a shit, but knock yourself out. I'll be right back.
All right. So yes, Rachel, I would love to hear, because we didn't have the benefit of having you on the show weekly, and I would love to hear what you thought about the season as a whole. Oh shit, that's a bad choice of words, actually. The season all together in totality. I'll use that again.
Okay. Oh, here we go. I gave it 4 out of 4 Sarlacc pits. No, it was a season of highs and lows for me. Like, it had some really great moments. I get the impression you guys did not like the Dr. Pershing episode, but that was actually kind of a high point for me. I liked all of the world building that it did. I think I have learned that I'm really, really interested in Coruscant, because anytime we see Elia Kane kind of like Blade Runnering around the parts of Coruscant that we haven't really seen before, I found that really compelling. I think there is all the ingredients for a really great season here that are just not gelling together, and I think a lot of it has to do with structure. Not having like you said, B plots that carried throughout, so that it led to one sort of cohesive story. And then I'm pretty butthurt about how they did my girl Bo-Katan. That was kind of like, I was giving the season a lot more of a benefit of the doubt, but the way that played out with the Darksaber and with Bo-Katan not only not getting her sort of defeat of Moff Gideon, but also losing the Darksaber and then having to be rescued, like all of those kinds of things really felt like narrative mistakes and a betrayal of a character that I have been invested in for like a decade because of the Clone Wars. So in the end, I was pretty underwhelmed by the season, despite having moments where I was like genuinely entertained by it. It's a mixed bag and kind of a mess.
Rachel just said something very smart.
I was going to say, Mars, you were clapping. So why don't you go ahead and tell folks why you were clapping?
They treated my Bo like a sucker MC.
Whoa, like, I think you and Rachel are going to have to fight over Bo here.
Well, I love her. And I think that, but even if I didn't care, even if it was fucking, Alberto's favorite, Peppy Bo or something like that, like they did multiple animated shows, multiple episodes of both, if not 3 of these shows, right? Of this one character's arc, just to have like her not finish it. Now, I have some theories that I'm not going to be as pissed as I was last week until we somehow see a Moff Gideon body. Because there's still the opportunity.
Oh my God, that was totally a clone. He didn't have a mustache.
Right.
That was totally a clone.
But I still think if like people are as pissed as Alberto says and the show stops, they broke Bo-Katan's arc. And then you can say, it wasn't this Star Wars show where a bunch of dummies were like, that's just them showing the Mandalorians work together, and that's the way you do it. It doesn't matter.
Now,
they didn't make multiple shows about Mandalorians working together just to like fucking have that and cringe on Bo-Katan's arc.
Cringe? That's actually a pretty good word.
Dude,
that's correct. He just made it up, but it's correct.
It's bad. No, I'll go get my encyclopedia, and that's in there. And then once I get the encyclopedia,
it's just a notebook with his
And then I'll backtrack to the dictionary because that's what I meant to say, or the thesaurus.
But see,
I don't.
You're kind of taking a pot shot at me from last week.
No, and Wolfie.
Wolfie. So let me just
Alberto hardly talks at all, so I don't know what he thinks hardly ever. But like, I think that the reality is that like, regardless of what they tried to show. And see, here's what happens on this show. Like, I get really tired, and then I have a point. And then by the time like we're making the point, I'm like, yeah, but no, fuck it. So now that it came up early at a reasonable part of the show where I've only had half a drink and 3 Dr. Peppers, I can say that Rachel is right. That's just bad writing. It's like if you have a whole entire book about someone doing something, right? And then even if their name's not on the door, and then like if they make a whole thing about Black Cat and she has to get her revenge on the Kingpin, and then at the end she gets her ass kicked, her weapon destroyed, and doesn't get the upper hand again until Spider-Man comes in, that's still, her arc is still wrecked. Like, so maybe she'll still be able to lop that dude's head off and all will be good in the galaxy far, far away. But for the most part.
I mean, it feels like literally a decade of setup for what
Agreed.
is totally anticlimactic and also not in keeping with her character. I mean, first of all, her giving up the Darksaber, bullshit, but okay, fine. But if it's going to lead to kind of a, a follow-up fight where she actually is able to like keep the Darksaber, even if she decides to throw it away and say, we don't need this anymore, it's just a broken symbol and it's caused all these problems, it should have been her that destroyed the Darksaber.
Agreed.
But
So that she could show she was the person to lead Mandalore. I have strong feelings about this.
That's fine, but here's
that chapter of her book. Like if she
here's where
stabbed him and threw him off a cliff.
The Book of Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
She should have had her book. I'm sorry. This should have been a Bo-Katan show.
This sort of was in a way, but let me bounce back. And this was sort of the opposite effect to this story. Granted, I will admit the writing this season was not nearly on par with the last two seasons. So a lot of things could have been orchestrated better. However, in following Bo-Katan's arc since the Clone Wars, they've been saying all through this season the many ways in which she was given power, even though her family ruled rightly with her sister and her father before, she has never gained the Darksaber through the proper manner in which. So she's never felt complete about it. This whole arc of this season has been, in the past, you did it for selfish reasons. And now the only way this survives is to be the uniter. And for her to be a uniter, she had to tell them straight up, I tried to make a deal with Gideon, and that's the reason shit got fucked. The Empire fight. So she was putting her cards on the table and hoping to fuck that this level of Bo-Katan is going to get these miscreants of Mandalore to fucking rally behind her. The only way she can do it is to prove I am but mortal. I can't do it all. So I think the end of it, though not orchestrated as greatly as possible, it was really more the fact that she realized that for the first time in her story, she can't.
She didn't realize. She got held by the fucking throat and had her sword. She's like, boy, before I was being choked to death and had my fucking sacred relic crushed in my hand.
You forget one thing about the Darksaber.
You're right, Rocky, but that's not what happened in the show. Like, if that's really what happened, then
it wasn't done properly, but that is the story I took from it. But here's the other thing. The Darksaber
that's you writing it. That's you writing it.
No, because the Darksaber being crushed, she's still the only one who has the memory of the Mythosaur. She's going to come to a bigger instance.
Grogu.
I feel like Grogu is going to ride that Mythosaur. I think Filoni cares about Bo-Katan. I don't think that Jon Favreau does.
I agree.
And I think that's the problem. He is clearing the deck of all of these things that he is not invested in. Well, like Filoni's off doing his own thing, and Bo-Katan is one of them. I mean,
I'm not sure I agree with it, but I think that what Rachel is saying speaks 100% to kind of what you guys were saying about the show at all, of not feeling like it was very cohesive or invested, because he was sort of just going through the motions a little bit to finish this thing that,
like I said,
they're turning the show into a lily pad for all of the other shows instead of letting it just be itself.
Right.
And so it's a mess because there's too many masters.
I think that's what they're trying to get back to, which is why it ended so happy. Hey, when you come back, it's going to be Grogu again, gallivanting around the galaxy doing some shit, but we'll see.
Or is it just that they're going to take all of the stuff that they wanted to have in that, like, Rangers, the Cara Dune killed? Yeah, Rangers of the Republic. I kind of feel like they're like, well, we'll just lift these plots over here and we'll just put it in here.
I feel like that's what they're going to do.
I agree with that, too.
Yeah, he's a privateer for the Republic, so he's essentially taking on that role as sort of a... cop. But like I said, the only thing that makes me think differently on the Bo-Katan is the many times they talked about the way it's happened to her in the past. So it's just, for me, it was just well, that's what the Uniter does, is try to get everybody on board. So I didn't.
Right.
But
I mean, if she like Luke Skywalker that thing over her shoulder at the end, I would have been totally fine with it, because she would have had agency in that moment.
But she had no agency in the end of her arc at all.
She's rescued by Grogu, Din Djarin, and Axe Woves. Like, that is, what about that says, like, yay, leader? It's very undercutting of her on so many levels.
That they were a little bit. You said it properly, Rachel, multiple masters, because I think that they were like being a little condescending to the fact that in the other reality of it is that she's not the Uniter. She wouldn't have even left her house unless Din Djarin needed rescuing or wanted her to come to.
Well, no, he brought her the news of Mandalore.
Din Djarin is the Jesus of this show.
Well,
Like,
she
united them.
she left to rescue him, and
Right.
then her house got blown up.
But she didn't decide to take her helmet off. Everyone, there are multiple other people in the show that were the catalyst of why she did what she did. It's not like she said, you know what, fuck it, my people take their helmet off, and we all have to stand together. She got pulled aside, and the armorer told her to take her helmet off. She didn't beat the person who she's been mentally under his boot since we found out about this character almost, because we needed to please some marketing incentive and probably dumb troglodyte fanboys in their basement because there wasn't enough penises in the end scene. Like, I think that the reality is
we can all agree on that.
I think the right story for that arc, and granted, sometimes you make decisions and they don't work. So, and I would rather, like I said last week, have decisions than 100% paint by numbers. But sometimes to serve the character, you have to get to that linear line, and she didn't.
I don't know.
Her arc.
Yeah. No, she didn't.
No.
And I mean, I think you see it in the way that the Darksaber passed from Din to her. Like it feels like expediency over actual writing. I'm sorry. At what point, Johnny, just tell me when you regret having me on here.
Not at all. Not at all.
Like, mistakes were made.
I can actually take a little break, and I don't have to carry the conversation. I love it. This is great.
Oh, this is the hill I die on. Okay.
I agree. Me too. I agree.
That's fine. I'm just saying that I saw it from a different linear standpoint as more her continuation of her story. Do I still feel like it was clunkily written? No, that's been my whole argument about the whole season, especially when certain things didn't mesh up at the end. Like, I actually enjoyed the Pershing episode, but I was waiting for a bigger fucking payoff to that. Really
you mean happen. A payoff?
Any payoff.
I mean, technically there was when Elia Kane was talking to
Gideon, not with Pershing.
Droid, but not with Pershing. We don't know if he's scrambled eggs, Lobot, or if he's fucking, we don't know. But see, once again, that's another toy they can pull out of the toy chest this season down the line to bring more guff. But once again, we all have to remember too that what's going to go down with the Ahsoka show when Thrawn enters the game, it's going to be a whole different fucking thing. So Gideon really doesn't matter unless they're going to do his clone Jedi storyline using Gideon's. So they're moving towards a bigger fish to have to fry when Thrawn shows up, and that's going to be everybody in this timeline that they're building is going to be affected by this. So
I'm not trying to start a fight.
I love when conversations start that way.
But
put him up.
But let me punch you in the dick.
I feel it is unfucking deniable that her agency was compromised in the last fight of this. You can add any sort of subtext to it, whether it's there or not. The fact that that's what they were trying, even if that is what they were trying to do, and I literally, we were talking about things that felt like they were done for money or some other motive before, and that's sort of how I felt about the end. I think that is unfucking deniable. You don't have someone's whole story be over literally years and then have a bunch of other characters come close the deal. It's undeniable that she didn't get her.
It's undeniable to you, but to me, when I viewed it, the two times I watched it,
did she kill him?
Alberto, take a side.
I simply say my view was her whole arc this season has been she had to fucking get the clans to work together. So
but this
to me, that end was
but
that.
She didn't even do that for real.
How not?
I mean, Grogu did it because she was just let him fight.
True.
And then Grogu's like, no.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying
character
right
assassination
now
of Bo-Katan.
is that she accomplished
should
none of her fucking agent. She had no agency in anything she did in this show, which I agree with.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying, Rocky.
Not so much in season 3, but in season 2 is where it solidified who she was in my brain. So this was just more the taking of Mandalore and what everybody's trial was going to have to go through to do it. However, they needed to do that over the whole season and not just 4 fucking episodes.
I wonder, do you have an emotional sort of investment in her at all? I'm curious because I wonder,
Oh yeah, I love Bo
He-
and
Okay.
Yeah,
Cincinnati, man.
he
They're
loves
like,
her.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I preached those Mandalore fucking episodes of Clone Wars to these fuckers every time they came up, dude. I fucking love the sisters.
Yeah.
I love the story. I love the Obi-Wan twist. I love the
Mhm,
fact that fucking
mhm.
even motherfucking what's the nephew's name? Fucking
Corky.
Corky, that motherfucker. Little Corky needed to die in the mall invasion.
I don't care if I don't like her. Like I
love
just feel
Bo.
like it's.
I'm
I
just
do
curious. Yeah, if it was like if I was having a more like emotional
I spent a
reaction
fuck
to
ton
it.
of money on her helmet, man.
I mean, that helmet is awesome. It is awesome. I should have known.
Right?
I should have known. I take
I
it
might have
back.
got that
I'm
from-
ashamed
I
of
might have got
myself.
that from that. I have
Hair
a couple
shirt.
tickets waiting for me at the store. I think one of them might be that. I'm excited, but I love
baby.
full disclosure. I love Bo-Katan. She is in my top 5 favorite Star Wars characters
Yeah.
ever since
Yeah.
I saw her.
Mhm.
But I don't think that has anything to do with it
Okay.
because I think that a story has a trajectory, and
Yeah.
if they were trying to tell the story a different way, every time we saw her, she had a posse until these episodes. Like
Oh,
The
so
other
she-
thing
But
this
when
season, I
sit on my top shelf, just for the record.
was a little sad that they introduced some interesting ideas around bureaucracy and sort of the seeds of the fall of the Republic that kind of also fell off partway through
Thank
the
you.
season.
Exactly.
I don't know if he's talking to me or.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
We
I'm
never
talking to
know.
you.
We never know.
we don't
Exactly,
generally know,
I
and even
agree.
this time he's looking at us. But I think I agree with that as well. This is a good podcast. Do the rest of you guys want to go home?
But no, I mean, I
still
thought
miss
those
that
ideas were
Rancor.
really interesting ideas, especially considering that we just watched Andor, where we see sort of the evils of the bureaucracy through the perspective of the Empire, to kind of see what happens post Yavin and like how the Republic, like, you know, the way they're just like throwing away knowledge and falling into some of these, like, albeit more benign, but in the ways that they're not like serving the people, creates this space that allows for fascism to like continue to return and to flourish. And so I was like, oh, this is interesting. So when we saw some of the stuff with Dr. Pershing, all of that stuff, I thought these were really interesting ideas, and I felt like we picked them up and then just dropped them. And I wonder if again this comes back to not having multiple through lines through the series, instead of having, or not successfully having, like 3 episode arcs the way that Andor did. It's like this weird hybrid.
And here's the thing with the Elia Kane Pershing thing, like the Pershing actual arc didn't need to take that long to get to its fruition, but they could have showed us a lot more of what, because once again, as I told the guys here, a lot of this underground spy shit going on Coruscant was in the original Thrawn novels. That's one of the things he did. He had operatives working inside to see how dysfunctional the system was. So they could have played a lot more with Elia Kane's character than giving us all of the Pershing stuff in that. She could have been sprinkled throughout the whole season and really built a lot more tension about, you know, what Gideon's got happening, and obviously what the Shadow Council talked about is something bigger is fucking coming, and you guys better lock it.
I could have used a lot more like Shadow Council Zoom meetings. I was into that. That was so exciting. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are high highs in this season. Like, you can, and that's why I think I'm upset about it, is because I could see all of these great moments were so good, and then they were like robbed of emotional context because it, like, they weren't weaved together in like a way, in a strong narrative way, and that's frustrating because it's there. The there is there.
Right.
Spend the same amount of time you spent with fucking a homeboy and his mother in Andor.
Honestly, yes. Yes.
I mean, that would have been fine.
Zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to watch him like bitterly drinking blue milk with his mom. Like, I was into
the
it.
serial killer. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he's been dubbed here.
Yes.
Episode of that though,
Yes.
because it didn't, like, making it longer. I don't think making that guy unbrain scrambled any longer. I don't know that it would have made it. it was like an implied impact, right? Like if you were
Right.
paying attention to the show, it wasn't even like now I'm going to contradict myself and do what I say I don't want, but it's not even like he said, oh, well, thank you for making sure he gets brain scrambled. Now I'm the only one who has clones. It was Moff Gideon, everybody. That's my Moff Gideon. But I think that
Wow.
I
It's better than your
that,
Hulk Hogan.
You're going
do your Hulk
down,
Hogan.
boy. I think that
What about the Austin
The,
Powers? Show Rachel.
what?
Your Austin Powers impersonation.
Jeez.
All right,
Do
you ready?
something groovy, baby.
Hey, Bobby. Do I make horny, Bobby?
Michael Myers, are you in the room? You guys didn't tell me this is a celebrity
No, it's-
podcast.
It's Michael Myers from Halloween.
I would have put on my better Millennium Falcon if I had known Michael Myers was going to be here. My fine jewelry version.
And it's crazy because his real name is close to my real name, so people get messed up all the time.
That is crazy.
It is kind of
they
similar
either
to
think that
Dynamo
I'm gonna-
Mars.
They
Yeah.
either think that I'm going to talk about like leprechauns and go, or I'm going to kill them on Halloween. They don't know.
I am not high enough for this show.
Bad baby.
Um,
No squeezy.
but I don't even know. But yeah, so I think that they didn't even drive that point home. So making it be even another whole episode or longer part of the subplot would have, I think, just made it more egregious because
Yeah.
it didn't do anything.
I mean,
It-
I
You
think
mean
it's
a
almost like it was
Grievous?
Grievous and Butthead. It's almost like it was a part of it was almost like there was a scene edited out somewhere where that came to fruition. That's what it felt like to me.
yeah.
And when he went around and groomed all the clones. But like, I don't know. I hate that show. I hate Mandalorian. I hate all of you.
You can't wait for that Bad
I'm
Batch
curious
kick
to
up
see
next
what
week.
bone you have to pick with me because I feel like we agree 100%. I feel like we agree 100%.
Oh, yeah, I have no bones to pick.
Didn't
I
you
mean,
say it? You said it.
when?
Either before we started playing.
Oh, I
Okay.
was joking.
Yeah, she was just kidding.
I was. It wasn't.
Re-
It was. Just
I'm
a-
sensitive.
Read the room, Mars.
It was just an intervention joke. Like you read all the things you've done wrong. Like, listen, I
We
thought
were
we were
trying
there.
to have
Okay?
you not
I thought
fucking
we were
jug of
there.
yogurt.
I got ahead of our friendship. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm a fan, and I respect being confused and insulted by it. So thank you.
Listen, I'm not gonna shame your kink. If you're into that, we can proceed.
It's possible you confused this Mars with the Mars that you know, right?
I do have a Mars on my podcast. As
That's
well.
true, yeah.
I
Battle
have a
of
question
Mars.
for you. Is that their real name?
Yes.
Their real last name? That's awesome.
Do
Yeah.
you
You're
have a
related.
restraining order against yours.
Are we?
Probably.
Well, she's her family is from Salem, so she's got East Coast family. Maybe you
Oh,
guys
you
are.
should look into that.
Do you know her nationality?
All right, we're not
I
gonna talk
do.
about
She's
this.
Irish and Japanese.
Okay, I believe.
And a
Well, you
little
are from
Duncan.
Tokyo, Texas, Mars, right?
Thank you for reminding me I'm not actually Japanese. I had forgot for a minute. But I am Irish, like 75%.
Well, I think it's conclusive. You guys are related.
Yep. He's a grower, not a shower.
Right.
Yeah.
So it checks
Well,
out.
Tiny will be happy because then I will have somewhere else to go when I am kicked out all the time.
All
That
right.
would be wild, though, if you were actually.
That would be
related.
crazy, yeah.
That would be.
She would
insane.
be so ashamed.
Yeah. No.
I know we are.
She would be like, "Can I be related to that Austin Powers guy instead?" She's like, "I want to be related to a Mars who puts out a record at least every 10 years." Not this one. That's heading
Well,
towards 15.
There is the police record.
Yeah, that is true. All right, let me.
Well, I don't know. Do you have to be convicted to have a record?
No, a simple arrest will do.
Yeah, shit.
All right, let me. I just want to weigh in on what you guys are talking about, and I'm going to give my first impression. 2 hours into the show.
Oh,
It's gonna be a long one, isn't it? I'm real happy
muting and
about
I'm
my
not unmuting.
Pacific time zone. Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'm unmuting. Tell my cousin I love her.
I will let her know.
Cousin.
I don't even know why I didn't like. I don't know. I drink too much and listen.
Maybe it's your daughter.
I think you guys are related.
That fucker is known for spreading his seed. So
Alberto,
Oh
how
my
do you feel
God.
about a sister?
Stop that. Doesn't every podcast have a Mars? Like
Well, I
God.
mean, not in name, but yes.
in name or in spirit.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You know,
both.
that's why I've stayed on this podcast, because as obnoxious and overbearing as I am, I'm not Rocky.
I'm gonna grease you up and use you as a butt plug on a
No.
rhinoceros, dude.
Point made.
I have witnessed your anal action, sir. It is fucking far
Whoa.
superior than most people's fighting style.
Whoa. You wait. That sounds like you're in favor of his anal action, apparently. All right. Well, what I was gonna say.
I'm
Jesus
just
Christ,
saying
if I can
that
say a
sometimes
fucking
in my
thing.
sleep, he just says,
Usually I like when I can sit back and not have to run the conversation, but I'd like to get a word in edgewise here or there.
"What's your
Good
first
luck.
impression?"
Every 5 minutes is just like vagina dentata all over this thing. That's what that looks like.
Bad baby.
I didn't print out the paper. I didn't stick my mouth through it. Don't look at me sideways.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Don't look at you
Talking
which
about
way.
No.
No.
No. No. No.
But I simply put things out there. What you guys interpret from it is completely on your end. I can't.
Oh yeah, sure.
No.
Stop victim blaming.
Yes. Yes.
I love that.
I like that we've reached the part where we've now made Rocky just like pause. Like I'm like, is Sky glitching or his brain?
Yes. Yes.
I love that Grogu is joining the conversation now. So I was
You know,
going to
here's the
comment.
Go ahead,
I'm
dude.
done.
What's
No,
your first
I'm done.
impression?
I'll just
No,
shut up. I'll
that's
shut
what
up.
I
If you
was
guys do
saying.
the
No,
show,
no,
I'll
I want
hang
to hear
back.
Johnny. I'm interested. Mute everybody else. I wanna
I'm not
hear.
even interested in what I'm about to say. So I was going to talk about. I was trying to talk about the Bo-Katan conversation you guys were having, and so my thoughts are, because I was actually kind of in agreement with Rocky, and Mars had mentioned how he didn't like how Bo's story, how it sort of undermined her arc, and for me, even though she was almost in this season, she was pretty much, I would say, the star. I feel like Din was
The Mandalorian.
yeah, I feel like Din was the co-star in this season. But if you're taking it as a series and it starts with Din, in this case, I'm still viewing Din and Grogu as the stars. And to that end, if you didn't know Bo-Katan, so I mean that's the thing, is they have to write this two ways. They have to write it for the people like all of us who have seen Clone Wars, Rebels, and they also have to write it for the people who haven't seen any of the animated stuff. And if you haven't seen any of the animated stuff, then a lot of this probably isn't going to make much sense.
Then you're a loser and you can't be fucking up my life. Leave.
But I feel like if you were to watch from the beginning of this series and following along as if Din and Din, Double Din, were the stars, I feel like it all makes sense in regard to that. But you guys are absolutely right. You guys are absolutely right that this did Bo dirty, because yes, it shows you don't need these trinkets, like the power is inside you all along, Bo. Like that's kind of what they were kind of going for with this. But the thing is, it really does diminish a lot of her backstory. Absolutely. And it should have been, I think you said this, Rachel. I think it should have been Bo would have been the one to retire the Darksaber, not to have that taken away from her. She finally got to wield it. She should be able to either wield it or retire it. Like, I feel like that would have been a much better way of going about it, because what does that do to have, whether it was a clone or whether it was Moff Gideon, what does that do to have him destroy it? Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to that. It's just a means to an end to say, oh, well, you didn't need it anyways.
Right.
But it denies Bo-Katan of the opportunity to make a decision and to make a choice, and kind of what Mars was saying about agency. So I absolutely agree with you guys. If we're looking at this from the Clone Wars on, and we're looking at this as Bo's story, Bo's arc, she definitely got done dirty, like Rachel said. But if we're looking at it from Din Djarin and Grogu, she would be a player in this greater story of retaking Mandalore. Even though they presented her as the star for the season, it's a little weird. So I get both sides of it. In terms of Din's story, I feel he had to be the one to overcome Moff Gideon, or in this case, Grogu, in essence, kind of save them. And the Mandalorians working together took out Gideon to show that Mandalorians are stronger together. Like, I get that, but that whole point absolutely takes away from Bo's overall arc. So there's two things at play here. Bo's arc, if you're looking at it from the beginning of the Clone Wars, it's not satisfactory. But if you're looking at it from the story of Din Djarin from when the Mandalorian began, I feel like it makes sense in that regard. We can't forget Bo's story. We can't forget the episodes that we saw with her. We can't forget her wielding the Darksaber in the past. So therefore, it is a little bit of a letdown for us and a lot of people that's how her story sort of went. So I guess that's what I'm saying. In terms of The Mandalorian, in season 3, I feel like the ending made sense for what they were building towards. I'm not saying that it's was the perfect way to do it. I'm not saying that it was not without problems, but with the story that they told, it was a logical ending for what they were doing. So that's why, in terms of the story for what they were telling, that made sense to me. But yes, if we take it from the beginning of the Clone Wars and we look at Bo's complete arc, it is a huge letdown.
I would argue having the finale of your previous season on a different show means that they expect you to have all of this canon knowledge.
Well, yeah, and I'm right on board with Alberto, and we've talked about this in the past. The fact that it was in another show entirely is ridiculous. And I get it, like, Star Wars fans are probably going to watch everything, but there may have been some people who, like was mentioned earlier, that maybe they canceled their Disney Plus subscription after, season 2 of The Mandalorian ended. And where does that leave you when you pick back up with season 3? Whoa, like
August.
How are they together now? Like, last when we left them, Grogu was going with Luke. What the fuck happened? Mm-hmm. And not only that, but Bo-Katan's story was all done. I mean, I know she explains it briefly, but her story was done off camera. And all these storylines took place off camera. And I understand you need to sort of progress. You need to advance time. And things are going to happen in that time. But yeah, to have such a huge thing with Din and Grogu being reunited on a different show it's just indefensible. I can't defend that.
That is the big thing for that. But even what Alberto said about last week about this is if they'd have focused so much more on the story they're trying to tell, and including the things from Book of Boba Fett, or at least some sort of wrap up leading into it that shows us something, that's where a big problem lied with this whole season. And then it just completely jumped into Flight of Fancy for a couple episodes before they got into some meat of some stuff, and you knew where the dust was settling. And then it kind of meandered for a little bit, and then they crammed everything that could have been 3 or 4 episodes into 2 episodes, and
I don't want more episodes. Like this, some of the stuff was long and boring enough. Like we don't need to just stretch it out. Like
I don't think anyone's arguing for more episodes. I think better use of.
They could cram stuff that could have been 3 or 4 episodes. I don't need any more of that stuff. Like just fucking get you got the baby back on somebody else's show. You went to Mandalore.
I'd like to see
you
the
left
baby.
Mandalore, and then you went back to Mandalore again. The show was literally and it was fun, and I liked it. But the show was literally just treading water to whatever this next thing is.
It's also hard to come off Andor and Bad Batch, which were both so like beautifully written.
What show was that?
Bad Batch? You didn't like Bad Batch?
We haven't finished it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Thunderdome, motherfucker.
You're gonna tell me that The Outpost is not one of the best episodes of Star Wars? You're high.
That's where I stopped. Not for any reason.
Like every single Crosshair episode was.
Oh, the Crosshair stuff was brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
I want that.
Not gonna lie.
And then did you see the finale? Like this. Like
no, we haven't finished
so
the season finale.
we did the first half, and then
that is a show that pays off.
And I watched 2 more episodes other than that because I forgot I didn't have to watch it anymore. But
we're gonna resume.
We're
gonna resume next week.
Yeah,
we resume next week.
Yeah, great. Like we're gonna go back to fucking. Oh, look out! Here's a minefield, guys.
Okay, listen. I don't like any of the treasure episodes. Fine, but the stuff, all of the Crosshair stuff, and the sort of the arc of the season, the way it wraps up, the way it lands things without spoiling anything, like the payoffs are there and the emotional payoffs are there.
Hey, let's get Alberto involved with this. What about that pod racing, huh?
I said I don't like the treasure episode.
No, this is pod racing.
Yeah, this is pod racing, Berto.
Fine, that's fine.
I don't know. That's not a good show. But even smart people, really talented people are wrong sometimes.
Disagree.
Disagree. But I mean, maybe I love it. Like I wish I had kept watching it so I don't.
Yeah, the Outpost is amazing.
Wednesday when I have to watch it and talk about it. I wish I had got it over with.
They had us all hooked at the end of season 1 with the Outtantis shot at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went nowhere with that. And they let us on the fucking...
That's actually not true.
At the beginning, anyways. At least the first
At the beginning.
As far as they've seen it. But they've done more of it. Like, literally, the episode they stopped, they started doing stuff with that. So I thought...
That figures. But I agree on the Crosshair story arc is the shit.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you compare the I can't talk about it because you guys haven't finished it, so I'm gonna
pause it. We'll be right back.
Maybe we'll have.
See you on the wrap up.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll have Rachel back for the wrap up of Bad Batch.
When it's you guys versus me.
Please tell us Omega gets comes back as a zombie.
Do not say bad things about Omega.
Yeah, says the guy who said bad things about Omega for first season.
All I said is that the proper ending for her arc is that she's a cannibal and eats all the Bad Batch. And they come on the ship and they find all these bones.
Would be tasty.
Yeah, they find all these bones and she's like, "Call, Governor."
Not so
I
much.
accidentally ate my mate.
Call, Governor. What?
Should we rank the Bad Batch on deliciousness? Because I feel like.
Well, Wrecker would be the most, right?
Wrecker's number 1. I mean, he's the prime rib, right?
I hate him.
I feel like, Echo looks.
You kind of look like Wrecker. Is that why, Mars?
Yeah.
Echo's been back in the fridge for a while.
As boring as I am much more interesting than Wrecker. There aren't very many people. Like, I sing better than Dickie Barrett. I'm more handsome than no one. I was looking. It had to be something. I'm more handsome than Ric Flair in 2023. And I'm more charming than
much.
Why, I don't know. Hey, now you made Maple leave.
Maple Leaf.
Leave, not leave. She's very.
I don't even know what's happening on this show anymore.
No
Where
one
are
does.
When did you ever?
we? What the fuck? I was here when it started.
Barely.
You've been here the most.
All right, so
I just get lost in Mars's weird existential soliloquy and just drift off, man. It's just. I love you, Mars. I can't wait.
I think
to lick
one
where your
day
eyebrows
you're gonna
were.
have to stop smoking weed, right? Like something's
No,
gonna
That's
he's
true.
not
That
gonna
was a
have
week and
to.
a half ago.
and you're gonna go back and you're gonna listen to all these episodes and go, holy shit, everything that guy said made perfect sense. Just didn't jive with my cannabis consumption.
Now, I was with you on. No, you weren't there on the episode
No.
with Jack Black, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you
No.
because I talked to you on the explosive dog diarrhea night for only like a few minutes.
Oh, right.
Like, I can't tell if that's a euphemism
Yeah.
or literal or both. Like, why not both?
Might
Of
be
course
complaining
not.
about
It's not a story,
those
Jedi. I would
Mandalorian
tell you.
episodes. I wonder.
The
I'd
finger
like to
set.
go back and figure out where the cloning guy and everything that happened on Coruscant episode happened versus when Luke and all that dumb bullshit showed up in the Book of Boba Fett. I wonder if their new plot device is that episode 4 of an 8 series thing we're going to.
no, it's not. That's not.
It's not. They don't
That's
line
not
up.
a thing. No. So I'll give my first impression of the season. Now that
I was muted and I went away and I made a drink and I read the PWI Women's 50.
You're only making it worse.
yeah, I know.
And I learned how to play. Tried to learn how to play
Oh my god.
Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
The worst wrap-up show ever.
Or the best. I'm not sure.
This will ensure that Rouge One will make sure to get out of the squadron and pretty much tell the rest of the Rebel Alliance, man, those dudes over there, keep them in the fucking outer rim, dude, because
I'm
they're
just saying,
fucking
don't
weird,
blame me.
man.
I went away for like 30 minutes.
We're
You did
blaming
not
you
go
right now.
away for 30 minutes.
It felt
It was like
30.
3 minutes. All right.
just-
Let me read the chat room because in Facebook,
Oh my god.
Mars didn't let me know, but there's a lot going on Facebook. Evil Corny, or Darth Corny, rather, on this show. He says, "Hey, Rachel. Hey, Mars. Hey, Alberto. Go fuck yourself, Rocky. Watch Star Trek, Wolfie." All right. No.
Yeah, when are we
Don't
when are we
tell.
doing Picard,
Don't tell
wrap-up
me
show?
what to do, Corny. I'm not going to watch Star Trek.
Why you always hate on Corny, man?
I
What
love
did Darth
Corny.
Corny ever do to
He
you?
just said watch Star Trek, and I said no.
You always treat the man like shit. I'm
That's
just
not
saying.
true.
Yeah.
Call.
Let my dude down.
Colin is tuning in, Rocky. He says, "Well, howdy, strangers."
I don't know who that is.
Jamama.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't you know Colin, Rocky?
Colin?
Or am I
Colin
thinking
Hay-
of someone else? Colin Hineker?
Colin Hay from Australia?
I still
No.
don't have anybody in
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. So apparently, sorry, Colin. I thought you and Rocky were friends. I guess not.
Whoa, well, that's taking it a little extreme the other way, don't you think? We're just
I thought
friends.
no.
Hates you, Colin. He told us all before the show. He said, "I fuck that Colin guy."
You have a couple. You have a couple of real life friends that are on the group that I thought that was one of them. So my apologies. And
Oh, it could be. If it is, then I'm sorry I misspoke. But
I still
hey,
don't
Colin,
see
I'm sorry, I
anybody
forgot
other
your
than Nick.
name. Darth Corny says.
how's the family?
Darth Corny says, really, the Darksaber was Palpatine's because he kicked Maul's ass. He kicked Maul's and Sauvage's asses when he went to Mandalore.
That's true.
And Colin said he's
Never
got a
have
point.
we been more obsessed with the chain of custody than we are with the damn
I know, right?
Darksaber.
Let's get fucking
Sadly,
Maury. It was Maury
So
Povich.
technically, according to the
Can we get Maury Povich on this shit?
Did you know that it was originally a white plane, wasn't a black plane?
Papa Palpy, it looks like your jizz was found on the Darksaber. What? Me? I'm talking about his music. His music.
Oh,
He played his Slitherhorn all over the Darksaber.
Sweet
I
jizz.
fixed it, Wolfie. I can see him now.
He dropped some sweet jizz from
All right, Colin also says, all right, hear me out. Grogu fixes the Darksaber and becomes Mandalore.
There's going to be a fix to it coming because the crystal's not destroyed, so it's going to come back in another fashion. I'd be curious to see how it does.
What do you guys think of this idea that that Grogu is actually that is the one who's going to balance the Force? Have you guys talked about this?
Yes,
Conspiracy theory?
yes. Rocky gives me shit
and
all
Johnny
the time
thinks
because
Mace
it's my.
Windu's going to come back and train him the rest of the way.
No, I didn't say
It's
that.
a lovely time. Thanks for bringing that up, Rachel. I'm gonna
Sorry.
Now they tell you this story. Bye.
I'm a chaos demon. I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Oh no, you sit there and take it, motherfucker.
Hey, Wolfie.
Yes.
The good news is I managed to get it. So for whatever reason now I can see people talking on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
The bad news is it disappears fast that I can read it. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, well, I got it. So,
sorry, Colin, whoever the fuck you are.
Jesus Christ.
Asshole.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Down with Colin.
Read
No
the
one
room,
likes Colin.
I wasn't making fun of him. I thought we were better friends.
Insulting him? Yeah.
Yeah, wow. What the fuck?
I thought we were better friends.
Is this why nobody listens to my podcast? Is it my personality? I think it might be.
All right.
If it makes you feel better, you're the only one I like here. I mean, I gotta like Alberta.
It does make me feel better. Thank you.
Darth Corny, what did he say? It just disappeared. He says, glad Rocky is wearing pants.
We don't know that.
That we know of.
He says, well, I don't think Pershing was the only person into cloning.
No, of course not. But I mean,
There's Hemlock.
Yeah, it seems expensive, so there's probably not a lot of people doing it.
He also says Mars's Austin Powers is like Yakov Smirnoff doing an Austin Powers impersonation.
Good reference, Cole. Good reference. They're just getting those good 80s comedians in Alabama now.
Colin says even Thrawn was cloning himself.
Mm-hmm. Whoever that fucking Colin, just stay out of it.
Stop.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
it's okay, Colin. We'll harbor you in the refuge.
I'm having a problem right now. And I wasn't going to talk about it, but Corny brought up pants.
Darth Corny says, wait, there was more people named Colin? And Colin says, we've messaged before, Rocky, about Star Wars books.
Ooh,
that's adorable.
Yeah, ooh, awkward.
Wow.
Awkward. It's a good thing he's. Wait, is that a giant? Is that a giant penis on your camera on the other side of the helmets? What is that?
Penis.
Did you guys see what I'm saying? Like it looks like like gold
the
penis.
Inflatable.
Yeah.
Phallus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is
What the hell?
Wait
ding dong, man, ding dong.
I'm coming back.
What are you harboring in there? Does C-3PO got a fucking dildo? What's going on?
I'm David harboring. Hang on, I'm returning to the scene of the crime.
Before I meet again, I need to apologize.
What?
To Colin, I hope.
Yeah.
That was so mean.
Yeah, Colin's like hunting you, dude. He just hired me and 2 other people to kill you.
You're attacking him. Rocky's forgetting him. He's having a rough day, man.
Right?
G-Y, however you say, go fuck yourself in initials. Colin.
In initials?
Uh-oh.
Well, Rachel's gone.
What the
Okay,
hell?
now
That was
Everybody
weird.
would like glitch in and out.
Yeah.
What is the dildo thing I'm looking for here?
Oh, I think it was his chair.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think you're sitting on the giant dildo. It's interesting. He comes in, sits down, and it disappears.
Yeah, well, that is interesting.
Excuse me.
How's that for a Sarlacc?
I mean, lube and bravery.
Yeah.
Because my butt is stuck to this piano bench right now, so probably people are going to see something that they don't want to see when I get up in a minute.
Are you leaking again?
No, I'm just. It's just hot,
leaking
so hot
gravy.
in Shrewsbury that I'm sweating, and my pants are somehow not covering. My pants aren't holding up their end of the bargain in the back.
No.
Wait, Mars, didn't you set the clock back again?
No, I didn't. Almost.
Okay.
I almost peed my pants at Salem. It's close.
What the fuck?
I know, Colin. Hey, Colin, what's happening?
Here's what happened. I'm in fucking Salem. I'm walking around, and all of a sudden it's like, I have
Jesus
a cousin,
Christ.
You
and
were
I almost
so
peed my
high.
pants.
No, I'm not. That's a fucking
Look, Alberto's
terrible
leaving.
rumor to
Look.
start about people.
Bye, Alberto.
Oh, is he letting Chewie in?
Closet.
Here, I'm gonna AFK Berto. All right, we don't need to see what's going on over there.
I was gonna piss in the hall, Johnny, but you never got the camera off.
I think he's looking for a new podcast.
He's
We
probably gonna
finally
find
broke
one in the closet.
Yeah, we finally broke him. He just wanders off into the distance. They'll find him 6 weeks later in Arizona, walk into California.
I'll say that
there it is. He's got
my podcasting
he's got
much
Chewie.
better when I came out of the closet.
He's got Chewie. All right, the podcast got infinitely more interesting because Alberto got his
Everybody
dog,
best behavior.
his dog
Yeah.
Chewie. Hey, Chewie.
Anybody want to drink while I'm no?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
What do you got?
it's not enough. Not enough on
Actually,
this
my
world.
friend Koopy accidentally took all my alcohol back to Virginia with him, so now I'm drinking my sister's Jack Daniels, and I'm not satisfied at all.
Okay, I'm good. Never mind.
But there's a whole bunch of stuff in there I'd never drink. Maybe
It's no
like that.
Clontarf, right, right, Rachel?
Yeah. If it doesn't sound like it's excreted from Cthulhu, I don't want it.
Cthulhu gravy.
I'd have to go because I'm.
And that's her underline on porn.
Yug Shugoff gravy.
I'm leaving before I get divorced.
That boy could suck the broth out of some gravy.
Ooh. Ooh.
They call him Super Slurper.
All right. So, anyways, my first impression. 2 hours into the show.
And you wanted to do this shit live. You are a fucking idiot, man. I swear
It's not
to
like
God.
we edited it anyways.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
always do it
true.
live. We're just broadcasting it this time. That's the only difference. And Chewie's on camera.
He doesn't even want to be here
But
either.
now we're bringing Rachel, essentially a stranger, and fucking caged animals into the fucking fray, dude. This is not.
Yes.
Hey, Mars
Yes.
left, so
This is not
Yes.
friendly to the people of
Yes.
society.
Yes.
Bad baby.
That's my favorite fucking thing ever. Bad baby.
I do love the Anzellans and fucking Mando, man.
First impression, anyways. I think this season was. I mean, anytime I can watch Star Wars on TV, I am fucking in love. I do not care. It could be the worst shit ever, and I'm gonna fucking eat it up, and I'm gonna ask for more. And you know what? Like, this show was very good. There was a lot of amazing stuff that happened. There was some great action. There was some really good character beats. However, we've talked about this ad nauseum, so if you've heard any of our previous episodes, we've probably talked about it in every single one, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But the way the story was laid out was done in a way that didn't set them up for success. I feel like what they tried to do was have this undercurrent of Gideon that was running all the way through, and then when you got to the moment when you saw Gideon, it was like, oh, it was Gideon all along, or whatever, you know. But it wasn't a good like facsimile of Gideon. It wasn't, you know, having the Elia Kane episode. I really enjoyed that episode too. I thought that episode was great. I loved seeing the world building and all the stuff on Coruscant and the New Republic being a complete fucking shit show. I loved all that stuff. But it didn't need to be an isolated episode. You could have had an A plot, a B plot, a C plot, and maybe even a D plot run all the way through the season. And we've already talked about this. The way you could have done this at the end, like maybe at the beginning of season 1, maybe we see the Shadow Council Zoom call and Gideon's not there. And there's like this whole they're taught, we get the idea of the Shadow Council or something like that. Or we see Elia Kane sending a message to somebody. We don't know who, sending it to somebody. But as we work our way through, there's so many opportunities where they could have just had multiple plots being presented in every episode. Now, I get it. Like, there's something kind of interesting, especially with having different directors, to be able to give them something that is like their strong suit. You know, like Bryce Dallas Howard has had some really awesome episodes, and maybe they're like, well, let's save this for Bryce. Let's do this. Or Rick Famuyiwa has done more action-oriented type stuff, and they gave him the two-part finale. You know, so I think maybe there was something along those lines where they broke it up for that very reason, but there's also no reason why you can't have those directors film their stuff, and then, you know what? On this episode, this part was directed by this person. It doesn't have to just be like, this episode was directed by one person. You know, it could be that we had 3 directors or 4 directors that were filming plot. They did these plots, and then we see them kind of threaded throughout the entire season.
Interesting.
I don't know if you actually can do that. I mean, I guess they could afford to do anything, but I feel like there's all sorts of weird.
Well, they just film the normal stuff that they would do, and you just edit it differently. That's all.
Yeah, there's just all sorts of weird union rules, but I guess if you did it that way.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then whatever. You could have people do, they just would film different stuff. I mean, with the way that they do it on with Stagecraft, most of the episodes anyways on Stagecraft, like they could totally do it that way.
Yeah, I think that'd be fucking rad.
So, but anyways, like there's so many opportunities to do something like that. Like having the Gideon plot, like if you don't want to reveal him until later, that's fine. Like I honestly don't understand why they held him back so long. We all knew he was fucking alive. Like there's no question about that. It's just, was he imprisoned or not? So there's no reason to drag that out.
His mustache or not?
Right. I mean, there's no reason to drag that out. And ultimately, the episode with Pershing, while that ended up being an Elia Kane episode, and by sort of like proxy being a Gideon episode later on, like retroactively ends up being sort of a Gideon episode, it's still we focus on Pershing for the entirety of the episode, and then we never see him again, and there is zero resolution with him. So that in itself is, I know there's going to be another season, there's going to be a movie, I get it, but there's nothing wrong with having self-contained stories that have an ending, or at least some resolution before the season ends. So that, and even, you know what, even if the Pershing plot was the end, his ending was getting his, fucking mind flayed, that's fine. But if we spread it out, it would have made a little bit more sense, I think. Oh, well, that's the way that his story ends in this season. Okay. But when it happens in episode 4, it's like, all right, well, what the fuck? When are we going to see Pershing again? We just spent a whole fucking episode with him. When are we going to see him again?
The Pershing plot sounds like a Norwegian necrophilia film.
It probably is. Did you know about it? But yeah, so I think that is the biggest failing of this season, is the fact that they did not spread out the plot more, like throughout the season. They dumped a whole fucking gravy boat on us at the end. And it could have been spread out.
I think all of us are in agreement that it was just a sloppy way of telling this story. This whole season was kind of disjointed, had a lot of things that didn't connect. So by the time we got to the end, it wasn't as epic as it should have felt. So I think we all agree with that this season doesn't hold up to what we've had in the last 2 seasons. However, I always say now that we have to take with a grain of salt the season finale of Mando. We have been so utterly fucking spoiled by the first 2 season finales of this show.
Well, yeah. After the season 2 finale, like there is, like we talked about that in
Where do you go?
Yeah, we talked about that in the pre-show, the preview show. We're like, there's no way they're going to top this. They have to go in a different direction, which they did. And actually, it's fine. Because there's absolutely no way you're going to top this. And if you tried, it would have fallen flat. Like if they had another, like big cameo or appearance, it would have just
Once again, I'm going on the record as saying the fact that we've now finished the 3rd season of Mandalorian, and they literally had an episode called Pirate, and we have yet to see live action Hondo Ohnaka. We know he's alive because he's the
Hondo
greeter at
Ohnaka.
Galaxy's Edge during the time of the fucking
Right.
sequel trilogy.
Yep.
So we know he survives. The fact that he has not showed up anywhere yet,
Skeleton
and Cad
Crew,
Bane
maybe?
has. Maybe.
I mean,
But
that's
the
gonna be
cat-
pretty piratey.
Well, I mean, that would be the only thing that would be as epic as the Cad Bane reveal in Boba Fett. That fucking
But that
Fuck.
again, honestly, like that as well. The Cad Bane thing. He showed up right at the fucking end. Like, give us something. Like, have an antagonist. Like, like thread the story through the actual season,
I
and not
agree.
just have it appear at the end and be like, who the fuck is this person? Because then for the
I
people
know.
who don't know Cad Bane, they get a chance to actually learn about him and find out like what kind of a character he is.
right.
Even if it's through these quick little bits, at least you get something. But to just drop a character, at the end of a season and be like, here's our big baddie now.
reason. Yeah. So no, now that's not what I'm saying. You can't do that as the finale. But I mean, you look at the reveal of Grogu was at the end of the very first episode of season 1.
Right,
That's how
right.
they left it, right? So you could do one at the very beginning of the season, and then you set up a better story. Like take for instance, in Boba Fett, had his first call been to Mando, then Mando could have just been on the hook to show up when the shit went down, and they still could have built that story without doing the whole insertion of Luke and Grogu and
Whoa, you talking about insertion with Luke and Grogu?
Yeah.
dude.
Too far.
Yeah.
Too far, Rocky. You've crossed the line.
That's the one thing that people never talk about when you have force powers is fucking body elasticity to be able to take many things, including the sphincter. So
Also, to be fair, it's called
This is the
Force.
way.
Yes, 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 yes.
Bad baby.
What, Mars?
Colin Timothy.
You don't have to read his whole fucking name. Jesus Christ.
Colin Timothy Hitchecker. Told
I
me
know
to
him.
eat a pizza pop. And is that real?
Mars is like, yes, please.
Are there pizza pops? I'm intrigued.
If not, you should make them. Fucking make a
Pizza
killing on Pizza
Pop?
Pops, yeah.
Yeah, do they have?
They have what?
I don't know. I just got
Use
caught
your
in the middle
words.
of trying to figure out if they had rum pops that I would enjoy.
Rum pops.
They have gravy
Pizza rum
pops.
pop?
I don't drink hardly anymore, but I would drink a frozen, delicious rum popsicle.
Yeah, I don't want to know how you get like the viscosity high enough to turn gravy into a pop. I don't want to know.
It takes.
That's one of
just the
Rocky's
right amount
favorite
of
words.
carbonite.
I
Viscosity.
Viscosity.
Yeah.
What was that title we had? Viscous what?
Oh,
We had a
God.
title for the show that one night.
White viscous or something? Yeah. I don't
White,
know.
something like that. Viscous white.
Viscous
was it.
white.
Viscous white. That was going to be my call sign the next week.
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one. It did sound Star Warsy and also like jizz.
And I love jizz, man. I like going to the bar and loading up with an earful of jizz, man. Shit, I love it.
I am.
Put on
Before
put
I
the
sign off again, I'm going to. I just need to apologize for calling,
Oh
and
my
I'm sorry I said that only people that are.
Mars is
serial
on his
killers
own
have to
journey,
call.
man.
I'm sorry
He's-
that I said that only people who serial killers are named Colin. I apologize for that.
I'm so confused right now.
the Book of Blue Narcolepsy. He's doing his own story.
There's a lot of blank pages.
Colin, pick up.
All right, so now that we've all got our first impressions out of the way, with the show's almost over, I think Alberto's gonna leave in 9 minutes.
Yeah, he does.
he's like, he's like, I don't actually have to leave. I just said that so I could have it out.
I just wouldn't have shown up if that was the case.
You used to have a time with me when that game was over.
All right, so we talked.
Yeah, sorry.
We did span quite a ways here. It's not like we just did our first impressions. We did talk a lot about some of the things that we liked, some of the things we didn't like.
Sphincter.
What let's kind of balance out the force here. What was everyone's favorite part of this season? Was there like a character, a scene, something that happened, something that that you were hoping to happen and happened? So we can just, I don't know, like jump in. I don't want to call on people because maybe some people need longer to think about it. But if anyone has something, just feel free to blurt it out.
I know what Mars liked. Every time they threw the baby.
Oh, oh wait, you got a Grogu juggle. Are you gonna do that? Yeah, there it is. You were gonna fucking smash something. Do you have Grogu nunchucks there?
Oh, dude, I will by the next time we do this.
Grogu nunchucks.
I originally had him rigged up on a pulley thing where I was just going to make him pop up behind me every once in a while tonight, but the pulley thing broke, so that's the best I could do.
Yes.
All right, so I guess I'll go. I mean, this wasn't my favorite thing, but I kind of I guess I'm going to own the gimmick. I did love seeing the Anzellans and just expanding their role in the galaxy just a little bit, I think is really awesome. And obviously we have Babu Frik, who is in the sequel films and had a very small but memorable role. And
he's not as cool as these guys though. Babu Frik ain't got shit on the fucking Anzellans from fucking Navarro. Just saying.
So there's that. That I really dug. I liked a lot of the Filoniisms. Like we got like the Purgil in here. There was a lot of other. I'm trying to think what the others were now. Like we called out a bunch of them, but like just seeing like the Purgil and like even like R5. Like
we're forgetting the one major thing about this fucking season, dude. Live action Zeb is a fucking thing, motherfucker.
Oh yes.
Fuck
That
no,
was
dude.
amazing. When I tell you, I screamed at my TV.
Right? I'm not the only one getting in trouble with people in the house at 3:30 in the morning.
No, I was very excited. I was also very into that sort of like ode to Phil Tippett creature that takes Din hostage in the second episode.
Oh yeah, the spider.
Just really cool. Phil Tippett is a local boy. Yeah, it's super super cool. Yeah. I loved the design of that, and it felt very much like an homage to him, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, I think that was a very cool thing. What
Daddy
else?
Vizsla. Big Daddy Vizsla is pretty badass. Like by the end, when he went out like a champ, I loved that whole scene, and I actually genuinely liked him by the end. He was a character that I kept expecting to zig, and he zagged.
Yeah.
And like ultimately embodied kind of the best parts of their clan. I liked him a lot.
And he melted the fucking gun down.
Yeah, he did.
That was, yeah.
And then when the gun was melted
only problem
down,
is like he forgot he had a jetpack, which is kind of a bummer because he didn't have to go out like that. He could have just flown away from the Praetorian Guard. But whatever, that's okay. I still like him.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
by Paz's go out.
I feel like that's a sort of like Valhalla moment though for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think he would
for sure
run away. Yeah.
Oh, every single time the armor just like messed people up with her tools.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10. And also seeing Bo-Katan leading the charge with that darksaber was visually iconic.
Definitely.
I was kind of happy that our
in general.
Yeah. After I smoked pot.
I was kind of happy once.
Try to be, man. I felt happiness once, man. Overrated as fuck. I felt it. But when we said we weren't sure where the armorer fucked off to, So like when she came back and she actually turned out that none of our theories about her being the fucking undercurrent of bad shit to come.
Right, yeah, because we thought that maybe
So,
she was, you know, sort
one
of
of the
double crossed.
spies.
Yeah.
Yeah, her or Axe or someone.
Yeah.
Well, Gideon had the horns on his helmet, and she's
Yes.
got the horns on her helmet. So it's that whole.
I
are
kept being
these
like,
two-
is this a Gar Saxon thing? Is this
Or
a
a
Darth
Maul
Maul
thing.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the new Dark Troopers in the white armor, even though they're built off the original concept McQuarrie had for Boba Fett being a trooper, they also still kind of reminded me of the brain fart. Yeah, well, yeah.
And it's gone. And he's spent.
And it's and there, boom goes the dynamite. But hey, man, at my age,
Did Mars just leave?
Yeah, I think he did.
All right. Well, Alberto has to go in a few minutes, so I want to get Alberto's his thing in. What was? All right. Well,
yes, Alberto.
I
Get
deserve
out
that.
the Sarlacc
Yeah.
cat. Get out the Sarlacc again.
So Alberto,
time.
what were some of your favorite things? And if you need to take off, you can also say goodbye after that. Leave us with a yub nub because we're gonna need it tonight.
Yeah. Should have yubbed up 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I mean the probably my two favorite things were the two biggest things I wasn't expecting to see. One being the Mythosaur.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I wasn't expecting to see that whatsoever. And it's a nice little teasers to, you know, something they can pick up on later. Like they might not ever get back to it. It might just be, you know, more of a symbolic thing than you know, something someone's gonna ride someday. But it was still cool to see it. And to me, I do think it was more symbolic of the fact that like the spirit or the actual planet of Mandalore wasn't gone.
Right.
That it still endured.
Yeah.
The heart of rock and roll is still beating, Berto.
No, rock and roll's dead. And then getting more of Grogu's backstory. With
fucking
yeah.
Keller and Beck, right?
With Keller and Beck, yeah.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Jar Jar
That was a good-
redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a character that already has existed. So it's cool
Right.
actually seeing him
Yes.
like in something more canonical.
Yeah.
And it was an awesome scene too. It was just, I know a lot of people are
He
getting.
was even ripped back then. Berto.
Jesus Christ.
This shit.
Ooh,
I know.
Gungan titties. Sorry, you're saying smart things, and I'm talking about Gungan titties. Sorry. I regret it.
Bad baby.
Go ahead, Alberto.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, he's just frozen because he's thinking of Gungan titties. It's really getting him going.
Oh.
I forget.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about Keller and Beck.
Yeah.
Canonical.
Canonical.
Yeah.
He already existed. Alberto's like,
Damn.
all right, it's 11:30. I gotta go.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
I'm
Have
never
you got
getting invited back. I'm so sorry.
Alberto got Reeferheimers too?
What?
No, it's so advanced he doesn't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Just thinking of all the places I'd rather be right now.
Oh.
Tonight, playing the role of Dr. Pershing, Alberto.
Yeah, we're gonna wipe his fucking mind.
Feels wiped.
That's I never want to hear Mars say that same line.
Darth Corney says, "Show almost over. This isn't going for 7 hours."
Fuck no, never again. Rachel,
Rockies
have you
weren't
heard
so
that
much
story?
ahead of the monkeys.
Oh,
No, have you guys actually gone 7 hours?
Not me.
That's how the show was born.
Not
Yeah.
me.
we did
I
our.
mean,
Both of
labor
us.
takes a while, I guess. I don't know.
Take a guess. Okay, I'm gonna have you. We reviewed one of the movies. I want you to take a guess which movie you think we reviewed that it went for 7 hours.
So it was one of the Disney movies. Which one do you think?
Oh. One of the Disney movies. I think it must have been Last Jedi, right? No, wait. Yeah, Last Jedi. No?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
Rise.
Yeah.
Rise.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Jizz music.
Jizz.
It was yeah. So okay, so it was Rise of Skywalker. We called it an unlimited jar of Snokes was the episode title, and it went 6 hours 48 minutes.
Holy moly. That's impressive.
And just
Not
for-
really.
You guys have some staying power. I'm impressed. And
Just for
Kate.
the record, I wasn't there.
Yeah, for the record, Mars wasn't there either.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Okay.
So I feel like we had like almost a 4-hour trick or treat radio once. That was probably my fault.
I feel like, Johnny, we've had a 4-hour trick or treat
Yeah.
radio.
There was
Yeah.
one night that you were on that I full out left my house and came back, and the show was like I had like a small date with my girlfriend. The show was still happening when I got home,
Okay.
and I left like after watching.
Was that a humble brag? Or
Like not to brag.
yeah, not
but
to brag, but you know, we went
I
out,
can really
went-
drag shit out.
went to the bedroom, held hands for 4 minutes.
Not tonight.
I never held hands, Ma. I never held hands.
Bad baby.
Wait, what part was a humble brag? That the show was long?
No, you had a date.
I've obviously had a date before. There's evidence in the bottom left-hand corner.
No.
No, 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 no.
No squeezy.
No squeeze.
Alberta, do you need to go? Do you need to get a word in here so you can?
I mean, I could just Irish goodbye this.
You are
nice
your
meeting
father's
you.
son.
You too. Can we talk about Picard next time instead?
Yes.
No, 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 no.
Bad baby.
I got your back, Alberto. We can take this motherfucker over and he can't do shit about it.
Okay, go for it.
Besides hit the end button.
Yeah.
But how often does he never do it?
It's
He's
true.
afraid of that off button.
No.
He would have us recorded all day long if he could.
I'm gonna go soon because I'm running out of power.
Jesus Christ. Okay, bye forever.
See you, Alberto.
See you, Alberto. See you, bud. Oh, he didn't leave us with a yub nub.
No, he didn't. So you're on your own, motherfucker. Now I can
They
see
totally
Mars bigger.
derailed him.
Wait, I have a French Grogu. That's for you. That's for our Canadian listeners.
Nice.
Nice.
Did I ever tell you that about that French porn I found? That was awesome.
What?
We found a French porn, and my brother Bruce was just listening to it in his room, and all we heard was, "Oui." I need some.
Maybe
I
it
need some
was
IPL.
maybe it was, maybe they're into golden showers. Yeah, I don't know.
I would like. Whoa.
Well,
What happened?
maybe it wasn't French. That's all I'm saying.
What if droids were into their version of golden showers? Then it'd be viscous.
What was
I'm
it?
literally
Oh,
gonna,
no,
like-
Nepenthe. That was it.
Nepenthe. Viscous
I'm gonna
Nepenthe.
shut off, and this will be the last thing I hear is Rocky listening to Golden Cloud. That stuff.
Oh, speaking
Water
of
sports.
Nepenthe, I fucking love that the sort of like the droid. I love the droid bar. That episode was. It seemed a little like shoehorned in, but I dug that episode. Like, I think that was a very cool episode, especially with them sort of doing this sort of like detective procedural. I dug a lot of that stuff, and I think the world building in this season was like better than any of the seasons they've done previously.
You just didn't like the lack of sex droids.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't? To be fair,
Hey, get
right?
out of there.
Are you talking to yourself, Mars?
No. The dog is looking like
Do you have a
my
Boba
hand
Fett
under the
figure in your
table
butt again?
to look for a plug. There's like 9 million blinking lights where I moved to, and there's not a single one plug. I think that I've discovered.
Just unplug one of Tiny's computers. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I don't know where they go. There's nothing to plug anything into. It's like necromancy.
What? How is that like necromancy?
Because everything's fucking lit up with no electricity. That
That's
is some weird Tesla broadcast power, but can't find anything to plug my. The show sucks. I quit.
dude. I
also
really.
found my booze I left here last time, so I'm happy about that.
Johnny, you are such a collector of weirdos. And I count myself amongst it. I'm like,
You have no idea, dude.
I don't think it's nice to talk about Alberto after he's left, but
I've met, I've met the trick or treat guys, and now I've met you guys. And then I go like, oh wait, I'm also in this.
I think maybe it's to make myself appear a little bit more normal. Like that's
you
the
are the straight man in all of this. Yeah.
I know he doesn't like it when I come anywhere near there and Aries is around.
to be fair, he let you be on the good show first, and then like you should have done this in reverse. You should have been on this show and then been on Trick or Treat.
He was like, time to demote.
Because you would have been like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. You got a demotion.
Now let me show you what happens to you if you fuck around and piss me off. We put you on this show and you
And none of these
stay.
things make any noise.
And I see Gungan titties and feel things that are unnatural.
Right? You have not lived until you've had a lactating rancor taint discussion.
How did he like pose to you to be on this show? Was he like, I know that you're on my like good show that I care about all the time. Do you want to just come on this other thing I do because I feel obligated?
I mean, I wish I could say he sold it to me. He was like, would you like, yes.
That's all
I
you
know,
then.
I know you've never heard it because.
No, I have.
So that's why you hate me.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities. Some consider to be unnatural.
Very good.
Well, we
I mean,
do the.
It's not his Michael Myers.
No.
but
I
it's
mean,
good. It's
nothing.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even close to his Hulk Hogan either. But you know, we do enough Papa Palpy on this show. I think that
You're going
after
down,
a while.
boy.
Unlimited siphon of yogurt.
Unlimited yo
Well,
play.
I'm afraid his anus will be quite operational when you arrive. There he goes, wandering off. I got to take a poop somewhere in this room where no one can find my poop.
Watching him wander blurrily is not making it feel less like I'm on part of it.
Jello pudding poop.
I would like to talk to you about the pudding you're hiding on the second shelf.
I'd like to talk to you about the Jello pudding poop initiative.
It's going to be you and Rudy.
Oh, Lord.
You and Rudy are going to travel around the galaxy together and shoot in the poop. Where did he go? Anyway, this show is utterly ridiculous. All the time, but Rachel's a trooper and stepped in and fucking slung some nasty liquids around in the room too. So it's
Listen,
like
I'm in the. If you're coming to the splash zone,
It's a fucking Gallagher concert.
I'm about to say it's like, and up until 2 days ago, I had some plastic right over here in the corner. Don't ask why.
All
I
right,
don't need to.
Dexter. Dexter
It's kinda
Jetster.
like-
Context clues.
It's Dexter.
Oh my God!
Ooh,
Imagine a fucking
Little
Dexter show,
favorite art.
like a Showtime Dexter show with Dexter Jexter.
Dexter, yes, dude. He's
Like
like
fucking
murderer,
serial
and
killer.
he's-
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like putting everybody in the food. That's how he disposes of it. Like everything on the
Okay.
menu at Dexter's is fucking.
Dexter,
and-
this is delicious.
And Omega's like their number one customer because she knows it's people.
Oh god.
Dexter's is human flesh.
So what else do we like about this? Anything else?
Mars has wandered off into the great unknown. So, honestly, I think we all pretty much hit everything on the note with this. Is just sloppy writing for what we. It's kind of like
I don't think it was. See, the thing is, I don't think it was sloppy. I just think it was a choice, not a very good choice.
Right.
Because
choices that I'm concerned with.
Yeah. And kind of curious about where it's going to go. I mean, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. We don't have to really address that here, but I feel like the ending of this season felt like a series finale, right? Like it's almost like, Papa Din and Baby Grogs are happy, and it just
answered all the questions of season 1. Like all of the season 1 stuff is now.
Yeah.
We're done.
So I mean, there's plenty of places they could go still. I mean, obviously we had that conversation with Carson Teva about him potentially, taking some bounty missions to take out the Imperial Remnant. So
that's my dude, by the way, Papa Kim. Love to see he's back in full effect, man. Because fucking Carson Teva's my dude, man. He's my new X-Wing guy.
Yeah.
Until some better. Yeah. Did you ever see Kim's Convenience?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, he's so fucking good in that show.
I don't know if you care about this at all, but I'm so excited to see him as Uncle Iroh on the live action Avatar. That's gonna be.
Oh, is he gonna be in there? Nice. Did not know that. I'm not a huge Avatar guy, but it's nice to know that he's getting some high profile fucking gigs because he deserves it.
Yeah. It's the best character too, so it's perfect.
Yeah, and it's nice that he's a huge Star Wars geek, so he can fully feel his pride in being a fucking. I'm an X-Wing pilot for the Rebels.
Yeah, like he is having the best time. I did enjoy that entire scene where he went to Coruscant and like talked to the pencil pusher and Elia came with all the. That whole bit was pretty great because he's having such a great time, just being like, "That sounds like Imperial thinking." I was just like, "You nerd." I know.
And that's the thing. That's the thing
see
about
myself in you.
Exactly, and that's the thing with Elia Kane too. Like. She has, for me, one of the world's most punchable faces, and that's the great fucking moniker of a bad guy, dude. Like,
I have
every
never
time
been
I
more
see her.
attracted to a human in my life.
But she's got that. It's not that she's unattractive. I'm saying that she has that same thing, like all those '80s blonde hair fuckers. Let's have a.
I want her to punch me in the face.
Punch me in the face and call me mommy. What the fuck?
And it was then that we learned about Rachel's.
Oh shit! See, I try to hide myself, and then I come on here, and then Rocky brings it out of me.
You know what, dude? It's the mystical, magical Sarlacc will do that to anybody. It's truly what it is.
Sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be.
It was nice knowing you. Thanks for being my friend while it lasted.
So many songs about Sarlacc. That's on the other side.
No, it really is why there's so many songs about Gungans on this show.
That is true.
There's a lot. And
Well,
Wookiees. It's like Gungans and Wookiees.
Oh yeah, the Wookiee thing. Shit. I miss those. That was another thing too, man, is not everything that comes out for Star Wars is for everybody. I gather that, and I enjoy everything they kick at me. Some stuff's just better than others. Do I think this is the best season of the show? Hell no. Do I think they're going to hit their stride again? Hell yeah. Am I excited for Ahsoka to the point where I'm going to fill all of Sabine's helmet? Yeah.
What?
So, what?
Did you say you're going to fill her helmet?
Yeah.
Yeesh. Wow.
Sabine Wren has been one of my
truck.
Exactly. She's got a gravy bucket on her head. I'm just saying she's prepared for the night's ambitious fucking thing. I've been in love with Sabine Wren for a long time now. Let me have my moment.
I don't think Sabine is going to offer to polish your helmet, though.
She doesn't need to. She just needs to stare in the corner non-judgingly.
What? Oh, so like fucking Kiadi Mundi in a Wookiee brothel.
No, What the fuck
Oh,
is
Lumpy.
Chewie's kid's
Lumpy
name?
is Lumpy. That's
like
right.
Lumpy in that intergalactic brothel.
Oh God.
Rachel's
just
like,
gonna
what did
watch.
I just
Oh,
get
God.
into?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking Star Wars Christmas special. I've
Yes.
seen it one time and I had 104-degree temperature and it
Bef-
was
After you started watching it, you mean?
such a fever dream.
Yeah.
I was like, am I watching a Grandpa Wookiee masturbate? What is happening? Why is Princess Leia so drunk? Is that me, Arthur? What the fuck?
How much cocaine did she have?
Her and B. Arthur were doing fucking lines off the fucking dewback outside the cantina.
They're
Just,
doing lines off of Lumpy.
do you care if it falls?
God.
What? The Republic. Fuck it.
Yeah. Mm. Like last time I was at Disneyland, it was Wookiee. It was like Life Day, and so they had all of the merch, and I felt so triggered. I was like, "Get me out!"
It's kind of like
You
a
didn't
rite of
buy a Lumpy?
passage, though. Like you have, like
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be a half hour, and it's 2 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Time is dilating. I'm probably dying, and this is how it's going to go
Probably
out."
dying.
I'm probably somewhere between here and Eternia because I'm
Yeah.
seeing some fucked up Star Wars shit, man.
What am I looking at? I just see flesh.
Oh!
I am so glad I had the wallpaper up so people can't see that in the
I
broadcast.
just saw like flesh and like what appeared to be a lap. Okay, wait, okay.
It all of a sudden became a colonoscopy.
I've seen things. I'm concerned.
You're
You
about
need
to
to call a
go.
professional.
You're about to go where no one has gone before.
Except a Boba Fett action figure.
Except a Boba Fett. To this day, man. How can you be the guy?
It's hot in here. I do have a fucking huge ass ring light that's just on my face, but
Trying to look fancy.
so let me read the chat is just ridiculous.
Oh God.
Colin
I-
says
Wow,
Colin
I
says I
can't
forgive
imagine
you,
why.
Mars. And he says, okay, but can we talk about how long their jetpacks were going for, but they ran out of fuel in 0.2 seconds chasing the flying creature thing?
Yeah, that kind of bugged the shit out of me too.
Darth Corney says Gungan titty buckets. That's it.
Oh.
Yes.
Corney also says the solo episode was 6 hours too. All right,
it
yeah,
6?
yeah. I think
Yeah, Solo.
Hey.
Where do you stand on Solo, Rachel? This will say a lot about you.
The movie itself,
Yes.
you could feel that it was two movies smushed together. Parts of it were fun, but ultimately it was kind of a mess. I was a little sad that it didn't do well because I felt like at the end it sort of hit its stride, and I was actually interested to see more of what was happening with Daenerys and Darth Maul.
Have you seen it more than once?
Only one. I saw it in the theater and I haven't seen it since.
It gets so much better with
it
every
does.
viewing.
Really?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And the only thing that I still hate about the movie is the fact that he allowed an Imperial to name him that and they didn't change his name later. Bugs the shit out
Yeah.
of me. Other than that,
Yeah.
that movie gets so much better with every viewing. There's so much more subtle shit going on in that movie that you don't realize in the first viewing. So
Okay. I mean, I listen. I would rather like it. Like I take no pleasure from not enjoying Star Wars things. So I would like more pleasure, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna give it another shot. I'll give it another day in court.
suddenly Mars steps into the frame. Hey.
Let's see.
No more of his weird mystery meat situation.
What mystery
Yeah.
meat?
he is completely comprised.
the
of
camera,
mystery
the camera, your
That
camera
is
flipped
who he
on,
is.
and it looked
Oh, did
like it looked like you're like it looked like we were watching a colonoscopy.
Was my butt out?
It could have been. Who knows? We're a little uncertain about what
Because
happened.
theoretically, I'm wearing more clothes than I was before.
But not the pants part.
My pants are in the back. I never holding up their end of the bargain.
So you were butt cracking us?
Oh,
No, I won't complain about it because no one except Wolfie understands where I am. But there's literally
nobody.
2 outlets in the entirety of this house.
I don't believe that.
Well, I couldn't find any, and one of them isn't in a room with all the blinking lights. There's 9 million keyboards and there are 2 computers A giant mixing board, no outlets. They're just all running on hate, I think.
Well,
Oh God.
Darth Corny says.
I love you, Mars. You are so funny.
Darth Corny says he's referring to your date. This is about 15 minutes ago. He says nothing happened on that date. Balls bluer than Luke's milk.
Nothing happens on any date because all I do is hold hands.
That's why your balls
I
are
played
bluer
trivia
than
with
milk.
Wolfie the other day. He didn't even notice I held hands the whole time.
Why would I notice? I'm not going to look under the table.
It was above the table. It's all above the board.
I doubt that.
It was.
Colin says, I unfortunately listened to the whole thing, all 7 hours of it.
A lot of people did. That's what's fucking weird.
And Corny says, yeah, I was there, Colin. I apologize.
That's my biggest get out of jail free card. Because as bad as I make things, as long as I make things, like I wasn't on the 7-hour show.
Are you proud of that?
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I had
It
fun.
was great.
I
I
smoked
like
a lot
worked
of
a
weed
shift
that
at
day.
work.
Yeah,
I
you
did
did.
things with people. I saw grass.
I saw grass too.
Yeah.
A lot of grass.
Yeah, just in a different way.
I watched the movie you guys were talking about 11 or 12 times while you were talking about it. Oh, well, that's
Colonoscopy part 2.
There we go.
that was a good.
Look at this. Yeah, see, again, I don't know what I'm looking at.
You're looking at an orange couch because of all the
There we go.
things over the years. We have nowhere to
Yeah,
go.
now we're talking.
Good, look at that GQ pose.
Yeah,
man.
come on,
Fuck,
Mars,
I can
yeah.
eat you up.
Literally, my iPad is crammed in between two couches right now to hold it up.
What?
You're like an Anzellan with a thyroid problem.
I do have a
He's
thyroid.
no, he's a
problem.
human
Thanks
with
for
a
triggering.
thyroid problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. My bad. Aren't you a little small to be a stormtrooper then?
Are you a little small to be an Anzellan?
When I die, everybody's gonna be wicked sad.
I am.
Not me, mind you, but everybody else.
I would miss you, Martin.
There's like
you
a
know it.
whole room behind me that just has stuff to record things and make things. No outlet.
That's
I
not
want
true.
to go to where they are
I've
and,
seen
whatever
outlets
weird,
in there.
luxurious place and fight them.
Just
What?
Prove it.
Just unplug
take
shit.
take the laptop. I want to see. Prove that. I want to see every inch of wall.
All right, hold on.
Every inch.
Yeah, every inch. I mean,
Yeah.
I see. Here we go. More
What
meat.
is-
Okay.
That's my face. That's my face.
That's my face.
More meat.
Yeah, I got. No.
Go back to the couch.
I think
Oh.
Rachel might be my long lost twin sister that somebody told me about a long time ago.
Your
She's fucking
sister.
damaged too.
Where the iPad was clammed into. There's a skeleton. Don't ask.
Is it the skeleton cock?
Mm-mm. He's over here somewhere. He's
There's
in
lots of
skeleton clocks
walls.
in this room, but I don't know how to turn that light on.
So apparently there's no fucking way to plug anything in. There's no way to turn lights on.
No.
This Tiny's house was built like within the last like 40 years.
Mhm.
You're talking
Look at
like
this.
you're talking like it was made in the fucking
What is that
Turn
to
of
the
the
right
century.
there?
That is.
that a
Put it
dildo?
down at like.
No, it's
you're
a
doing
it's
it
a-
above where the things plug in.
It's
You're
a-
like, look, there's no plugs on the ceiling.
That
This
was-
is ridiculous.
that was
No,
a,
I'm looking
that was
at-
a keytar rock.
Ooh.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Rachel,
dude,
I've ever heard Wolfie and
What?
I's band were awful.
look at the actual wall, dude. That's where we're gonna see a plug, not
No,
the
no, they
fucking
they
other
wouldn't be
stuff.
in the wall. They'd be in the. You got to look down, Mars.
I am looking.
Follow
down.
the cables.
I don't know where I'm pointing you guys.
Okay, I see a lot of cables. I suspect.
Follow the cables.
Now, my powers of
You see a
deduction
plug under
are
there?
superhuman, but
Plugs.
I suspect there may be a plug by those
The,
cords.
he literally has about 40 keyboards in that room, and they're all powered on.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm angry.
Follow a cable.
I just need to plug in my flashlight, and it's ruining my fucking
I-
night.
I need to hear jizz in my
Wait
ear
a minute,
right
I found
now.
Plugs, I think.
I would text him and say, Tiny, I just
That
fucking
son
dropped
of
some
a
heavy
bitch.
jizz on all your keyboards.
I just
What the fuck? Where are you
Keyboards are
going?
heavy with jizz.
Is this Saw? Is this turned into fucking Saw all of a sudden?
I found the plug. All
This
the
is like
plugs
that
are
time
in
when
the
Ares'
room.
camera just kept pointing at the ceiling while he laid on the floor. Do you remember that?
Yes, I
This
do.
is bullshit.
You're gonna find Ares in this shot holding like fucking the pizza delivery guy and a neighbor child at gunpoint somewhere.
I can't plug anything into this stuff. It's in a different room.
Oh,
That's a
oh
big
well.
spider. Get out of here, dude. And that's a stand.
All right, we need to wrap up the
All
show
right,
soon.
yeah.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
fuck, man.
Enough of
Lost
this
our
fucking.
We have lost the plot.
Yeah, we're just as bad as the Mandalorian season 3. We're not spreading out the plot well
It's a
enough.
slippery slope here.
Yeah.
That was the worst episode.
So
of
John
Cribs I've
Favreau,
ever
we're
seen.
sorry. It's harder than we thought.
But I guess the big thing now is August will be coming. And for here, us on the show, we get to finish the Bad Batch. So
Oh,
maybe, like they said, there'll be some
Ahsoka.
redemption.
I
But
know.
Ahsoka's coming, dude. That's
Oh
all
my
that
God.
fucking matters
Yes,
to me.
yes, yes, yes.
How many
yes.
times have you watched the trailer? I think I've watched it like 40 times.
Wait,
Oh.
in the first day or all
Yeah, I was
total?
about to say.
Fair, fair. See, I'm setting myself up for trouble though, because like I'm totally like theory crafting every single
Yeah.
frame of it. Like, oh look, they look like they're in the same place. I think maybe this means
It's going to be interesting to see how much of the old Thrawn remnant stuff from the old books makes it, because Zahn was there during the crafting of this script. So
Was he there?
I'm going to be very curious. Yeah.
Okay, I know he was consulted.
That's
So
what
you're
his
saying he
consulting
wrote?
position was.
Oh,
No, he was there in the room with Filoni as
Okay,
Filoni
cool.
wrote it. So I guess he's going to get a
Nice.
co-writing something. I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
assume,
that's awesome.
I hope
because
Talon Card shows up. I want that
yes,
swashbuckler in this.
Talon
Mara
Card, yes.
Jade.
I don't think
Yeah.
Mara Jade will be there,
I don't
but
think
I think
so.
those
No.
new characters. I think the two new characters they show in the thing are the
Yeah.
de facto Saboth and de facto Mara Jade for the story they're going to tell. I think they're changing the names to them,
Oh,
but it's the same
that's
thing.
interesting. That she's like a de facto Mara Jade. I had not thought about that.
Yeah, and that he's Saboth. Because when he comes through that door in that trailer and he's just not giving 40 fucks, not breaking a sweat, just throwing bitches, that's some fucking Jarrah Saboth shit right there, dude. So
Mhm.
I think that they're just going to make them the de facto parts that they need to tell their version of the story. That's probably not going to be anywhere near as long and linear as the original 3 Thrawn books, but I think it's going to give us a jump off point, and obviously Ahsoka is going to take the place of where Luke would have been in this story. So anyway, hoping anyway.
I mean, we got
Done.
Rook, right? So like maybe.
Honestly, anything's possible. And all I know is live action Thrawn delivered from the same voice that voices him on Rebels, because that's the voice is what makes that fucking character now. Hearing that voice. So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bye. But that's sort of the thing, is like, for as shaky as Mandalorian may have felt to us, like Johnny likes to say, we live in a, we're drowning in a pool of riches with all the fucking Star Wars content. So yeah, not everything is going to be 100%, but at the end of the day, I like a good story, and they still haven't faltered. I mean, season 3 not as strong as 2, but they still haven't faltered. Obi-Wan was fucking awesome. Fucking, so far the majority of what they've given us has been pretty good. So
Yeah.
Filoni actually holding on to his character Ahsoka to tell her story live action. Expect epic.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, we are doing a podcast about Star Wars, and we've been able to do it nonstop since we started in 2019, I think it was.
Wow.
And
Has
we've
it been
done
that long ago?
Yeah, well, it was whenever Mandalorian season 1. I'm pretty
my
sure that
God.
was 2019.
Why hasn't somebody stopped us?
This might be it. I think we did it.
Yeah.
Is that why he brought you here? Are you the axe person?
Yeah, it
I
was.
know that they
Didn't
dropped off
didn't
one
I
by
feel
one.
like I killed the fun?
Yeah, it was November 12th, 2019 is when the first episode dropped. So we started the show then. So it's been not quite 4 years, 3.5 years we've been doing it. And we have literally been able to do an episode every week, except for I think we took 1 week off, right?
Oh, yeah.
After Mando ended, because we weren't sure. We're like, should we continue doing this or or not? Originally, it was just going to be the first season of Mando, and then we weren't sure if we are going to do any more. But
I mean, I guess technically it started when the Disney started making the new movies, because that's when we started.
Well, yeah,
doing the
those are
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat radio specials. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyway, what can I say? I'm still fucking here, so obviously I have brain damage.
Yeah, no shit. So
I've also known you for way too long, Johnny, and you can eat all the bag of dicks.
Oh, thank you. It's awfully nice of you.
I'm not gonna say that to Rachel because she already looks like she has a couple of a vagina and a penis stuck on either side of the glasses there.
Wow.
And it's very weird. I thought it was a parakeet at first.
Oh my God.
No, it was a vagina and a penis.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So what noise
You
do they
should
make
see
like
what's
wind
behind
chimes?
this background. It's just like a wall of dicks.
Now I'm interested.
You say what kind of a
Are they
noise does it
Ewok
make?
dicks?
They're every kind of Gungan, Ewok,
You
Rhodian.
got. Oh, you got Rhodian. Okay, here's the question. Then, okay.
It's more of a
Rhodian.
cloaca, but yeah. Mhm.
Here's the question.
Mm.
Do you think, since Rhodians are my favorite species in Star Wars, hands
Oh.
down, followed very closely by Bothans, Johnny will attest to this.
Okay.
So, important question for you in relation to Star Wars alien anatomy. Now,
yes.
those weird little quills that are on the top of Rhodian's head,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the female Rhodians have actual hair too, and the quills. So my question for you, pubic area, quills, hair.
I think it's like a mix of probably both, right? You know,
You think?
like I feel like it's quills with like a light downy fuzz above. Yeah.
Like a weird 70s kind of thing, like if your 70s pubes
Yeah.
got hung up in a rubber racquetball or something.
Yeah. That's what I think that's the only answer.
Rubber racquetball.
You know, I couldn't think of those things the dogs play with, the koosh balls. That was what I was thinking.
Bad baby.
I'm always curious, man. Let's be honest. When you see new alien species, you obviously wonder, what's their get down package like?
Get
Right,
down
right.
package.
Right.
I mean, I've done.
Who's to say
extensive-
that their heads are not their genitalia?
Look at Twi'leks.
Like maybe it's
mean-
more of like a rubbing of like head mounds, you know, as opposed to
Rubbing
penetration.
That makes me wonder how Kiatamundis people fuck.
Moon.
Probably
heads.
mounds as well.
Instead of scissoring, it's mooning.
Yeah,
They bump moons.
that's the technical term. Yeah, that's medically accurate.
They bump moons. But it's like we expect certain ones like the Twi'leks and stuff like that. They tend to be your average human setup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like the Geonosians.
Yeah, I feel like that's like and there's like an external thing happening right there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you think
Yeah.
it's like so somebody spits out some eggs and somebody walks up and like several people do a little bukkake on the eggs and then fucking they take the
Mhm.
eggs off and they're fucking
Yeah,
interesting.
I've written my master's on it.
I feel like Rocky
My
is. I think this is the point of the show where Rocky's like testing.
I think
Rachel.
yeah, Rocky's trying
Yeah.
to shake me, and it, like I'm. If you knew what I, I was like a sex writer for years. You're not gonna shake me.
Okay. So Mars has this thing he likes to do with a friend where they sit on opposite sides of the house and they run a hole through the walls connecting each other. They put together paper towel tubes.
Okay,
And one of
that's
them
industrious.
sticks a they eat a lot of chili on Taco Tuesdays usually when this happens. So what they do is they stick an action figure up their butt and they try to play catch through that tube.
So it's like pooping back and forth forever, but with an action figure.
Well, it's kind of like playing
I'm
ping pong or
impressed by
tennis.
like the control to be able to like get that kind of thrust.
Mars does rectal Kegels. It's all about
Yeah,
it.
you would have to. I mean, like the pelvic floor requirements would be pretty intense. He must be able to lift like a dumbbell betwixt his
Dude, I'm sure at one point in time he could lift a dumbbell, but this day and age he's so stretched out now, things just fall. Like I will.
You know what that
hear,
means,
like,
Rocky. You
random-
know what that sound means.
No. No.
Yes. The
This is probably the
seismic
most
charge.
in-depth discussion the show has ever had over
The
something
seismic
poignant in Star
charge
Wars
means
Galaxy.
to change
Yes,
subjects.
the seismic charge. Yes.
The seismic charge means let's change subjects because we do have some voice messages, and I want to wrap up with some voice messages.
You don't want to end on this note?
Nope. Well, normally we do end on a
take it
note like
further.
this, and we have
You just want me to
Alberto.
take it.
Alberto yub-nubs us, and that usually gets us out of the fucking show, but Alberto's not here, so I don't know how we're going to do this. But we do have 4 voice messages.
Holy fuck.
We have 1 from a first-timer, so we're going to hear from a first-timer.
I'm so glad I made this first impression on him. That's great. That's great.
Let's bust the hymens of entertainment.
Oh, boy.
Bring it on, Johnny.
All right, so yeah, they're actually we got some pretty good length with some of these voice messages. So let's start with Darth Corny, and let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, what's up, Rachel? I did like season 3 of The Mandalorian, but thinking about it, it kind of did something that when you all finish off Bad Batch, you'll kind of notice that there are a lot of unnecessary stories. I don't know what the writers were doing between these 2 shows, but Bad Batch gets real good toward the end of the 2nd season. And it kind of, to me, it was kind of like what they did with Mandalorian. It kind of went a couple weird places in this, in this season. But when it all finished off, it, kind of ended, I guess, well. But I really don't know. I'm kind of undecided. I'm still a fan of all this. But I don't know. It like I left my message last week. It was kind of lackluster on the season finale and everything. Everything just kind of ended too neat. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna get on this. Picard season finale kicked ass. The season 3 of Picard was kick ass. Rocky, Alberto, I know you guys loved it. Johnny, go fuck yourself for not watching Star Trek. You need to get into it. Hey, Mars, how you doing? But you all have a good one. Darth Corny out. Oh yeah, Rocky, go fuck yourself. I don't like you
shall not
to
fuck
feel left
myself while
Bye.
Johnny is fucking himself.
What?
It's called solidarity. Get into it.
All right, well, Corny, always good to hear from you, buddy. And I'm still not going to watch Star Trek, sorry.
He told you to go fuck yourself, dude.
He did?
Communist.
Oh, Mars is back. Jeez, I thought you were fucking
Did you
gone.
find a plug?
Yeah, hi team.
He was
I
in the
found
butt
a new
variety.
outlet in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. This one outlet in this whole house.
Are you into the Coveys?
My nose is cold. Yeah.
He is under the Coveys. I hope you're not naked
My
under
nose
the...
is- No, I'm still fully clothed, shoes on, the whole 9 yards.
Are you,
I found a whole
are you
power
holding your
strip.
own hand?
I found a whole power strip under the stairs, crawled under the stairs, pulled the cord out, plugged it in, sat down, no power.
The saga of your power search is.
I feel like it's
George Lucas could never.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like this is like on the down low, like a Star Wars story. You got to balance the Force, Mars.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like Prometheus right now. I feel like I brought Shrewsbury power because I found the one outlet. Thought I was going to have to walk down to the library.
Yeah, because they'd be open now at midnight.
This hero's journey is.
No, it doesn't.
It's first Mose.
It doesn't. All right, we got another voice message, and this is from Double D. Let's hear from Double D.
So it's been a very fast 2 months, and there goes season 3 of The Mandalorian. I'm curious to hear your thoughts actually about this season. I know it's been a very divisive topic amongst a lot of Star Wars fans, and I don't want to bite the hand that feeds, because I think we've been, spoiled rotten with the Star Wars content that we've gotten throughout the last couple of years. So this season for me, personally, it wasn't the best season of The Mandalorian. I think the best season was season 2. And season 1's probably the second best one. This is my third favorite, actually. So, and the reason being is that, don't get me wrong, I love the episodes. I loved each one of them. The show did feel uneven, and there was a problem with pacing a lot, There were some things that happened throughout this season that I thought were a bit nonsensical. And it seemed like the writers had like an idea they forgot about, and then they thought about it at the last minute and decided to put it in the show, in an episode. So it did feel very uneven at times, especially, and I think it's, unfortunately, since it came right after Andor, which is so methodical in its pacing and the storytelling and the acting. It was just so intense, maybe, we were just, came off that high that we're a bit more critical on it. But I think it was just a bit uneven sometimes, And even the last episode, which I enjoyed a lot. I thought the action sequences and things that happened in the episode were great, But it didn't, do much of anything, in the sense of there was no big payoff in the end of season 1. We had the reveal of the Darksaber. In the end of season 2, we had the Luke Skywalker, reveal. Even though, in all fairness, the Luke Skywalker reveal was more, let's say it, it was more a fan service. It was a bit gimmicky because ultimately it didn't play much, effect narratively to the Mandalorian. I mean, yeah, he took Grogu and they went off to train, but it didn't really affect it as much as I thought it would. I'm glad that we saw Luke as we've never seen him. Him being at his prime as a Jedi Knight, but it really didn't do anything narratively. And I guess that was my issue with the show this season. It was narratively, there were some things that were done that I just don't understand. And as opposed to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which was complete fan service, and I wasn't really crazy about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and we have our issues with Bad Batch. I was really hoping that for Mandalorian, I would have that high like I had for Andor, And I guess I was hoping for even more a bit more of a teaser reveal to lead into the Ahsoka show. I mean, they teased about Thrawn for a while on the show. Even if it was just a short clip of him, I think would have done it justice to lead into the Ahsoka show. But anyway, so once again, I'm not going to be critiquing it because we are in Star Wars zenith high right now, so I'm not going to complain about it. I love the Star Wars content. I just wish that the show had a bit more direction narratively, that's all. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Looking forward to the show. I'm sorry for the length of this voice note. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Double D out.
All right, Double D, great voice message, and always good to hear from you. And, it seems like we're all sort of on the same page. It's, we don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, in terms of, or look a gift rancor in the mouth, if you will.
Or the gift rancor
in the butthole. All right, that's
there
our new.
Is.
Oh God.
There it is.
Don't want to look a gift rancor in the butthole. That's difficult to say, but
is it though?
But easy to do.
Yeah, difficult to say, easy to do.
Only if your mouth's full of Van Zelen dicks.
I think I have a lazy
that'd be
eye.
a lot of Van Zelen dicks.
You think you have a lazy eye?
Hey, Rachel, when you come back next time, we're going to have a contest. See if people can count how many Anzellan dicks you have in your mouth, and we'll give away a free action figure.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Wow.
Have I had any? I don't know.
I mean, they gotta be jelly bean size, right? So we can just, if we're generous,
do
a
like
peanut
jelly.
M&M. I feel like
like
we could
peanut
do
M&Ms
science.
too. All right, I'll do it.
Yes, yes, yes.
They all look like
Like,
Mars's
the
head.
power thing really took a lot out of me.
Bad baby.
That what took a lot out of you?
Yeah, I'm not the same me I was when I started.
None of us are.
Darth Corny says Mars got that power cord from Watto.
I'm a
You lost that
Tordarian.
bad. I'm a Tordarian. Yeah, that my tricks don't work on me.
Power strips do not work on me. I'm a Tordarian.
Only the Boba Fett butt plug.
I'll tell you this, I don't feel like Saboba today.
You feel like Sebulba today?
I don't
You don't.
feel like a big
But
loser.
Sebulba always wins.
Well, no, he did.
Darth
That's why I
Corny.
don't feel like him.
Darth Corny said Mars is almost about to have another personal 9/11.
I hope.
What?
Jesus Christ. That's an old Trick or Treat radio.
I did have another personal 9/11.
Did it involve not finding power cords?
I don't want to talk about it. You know Rachel was back off.
Oh God, Mars, you're a fucking lunatic. I love you, man.
Colin
I
says
think Rachel was put here to taunt me and haunt me. Tell me I have cousins.
taunt you and haunt you.
Yeah. That's my new biography.
Taunting and haunting.
Yeah.
Or
My new
tauntaun,
R&B.
tauntaun and hauntaun.
That's my new shock rock R&B group.
That's going to be the Star Wars buddy cop movie. Tauntaun and what was it? Tauntaun. I fucking forgot.
What the fuck are we even talking about?
Hey,
Ooh,
Tauntaun and Swanton.
I'm
This
fucking.
show is terrible.
I got the munchies. I can tear down some wontons right now.
Oh,
Throw down Thursday. Pick up.
What?
Colin says, "No, you didn't contribute to the 7-hour show, Mars. You brought us deep fake buttholes." That's
Colin, I was going to apologize to you. Now I take it back before I even say it.
What?
Fucking Colin. I was going to apologize to Colin.
This show would be great if it wasn't all for the fucking listeners, man. Fuck. Fuck you. I've had about enough of motherfuckers listening to what the fuck I got to say.
Jesus Christ. Corny asked if we're going to cover Visions Season 2.
Nope.
Yeah, so that drops on May the 4th. But I think we'll finish Bad Batch first. So
You really want to see us argue? Come in for the fucking Vision Season 2 conversation, because Vision Season 1 went so well.
Uh-oh.
I don't even remember it. I'm on my fucking phone. I'm holding this here, and then I get tired and it goes, I hate world.
Mars, do you need a timeout?
You need a hand hug?
Hand hug? He just shook his camera, yes. I saw the camera. He's bashful. He's hiding his face.
Oh my god.
You look like a baby, Rosemary's baby, but you look like a baby.
I'm trying to be coy, but I actually just look like the Dawn of the Dead video.
Yeah, you do.
Well, you should be Vance.
What?
Coy.
That's
Coy
a deep cut
Vance,
joke. Yeah, exactly. Only Johnny got that one. Sometimes we just make jokes for each other, Johnny.
Nub.
Okay.
We have more voice messages.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it.
You just lay there and look sexy.
Nobody will see that.
You just
Yeah,
lay there
just-
and look sexy.
yeah,
you
just-
sun-deprived jelly bean.
Yeah.
I do
You
like
and
jelly
Zelen.
beans. Why would
You
you
and
talk about
Zelen Jelly Bean.
You and Zella Bean.
And Zella Beans.
if we're gonna see how many Anzella
I do love a good portmanteau, Rocky. So thank you.
This show is so fucked up, dude. Let's get out of here, man.
You want to get out of here? Mars wants to get out. We have more voice messages.
Fuck that. If one's calling, I'm gonna fucking tip this table over.
Yes.
I can't though, because then I'll let go of my phone and it'll fall on the floor.
Yes. 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 Yes.
You know, Rachel's gonna go back and tell her other podcast, and Buzzy's like, dude, you don't even.
It's a wild ride.
It's fucking. You need to, whatever drugs you think you got, you need to go get more and go check that shit out. It's fucked up, dude. There's this crazy bald
But have
guy.
you been on Force Sensitive on weed?
Have you ever watched a live stream of Force Sensitive? Yeah. You ever watch a live stream of Force Sensitive on weed, man? Look on the dollar bill. Look on the grassy knoll. I don't know.
Rachel.
Yeah.
What?
Don't tell your cousin about me. Don't tell my cousin about me.
Don't tell your cousin about.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna send her a Discord right now. I think I met your cousin.
Take a picture. Take a picture.
Okay, hold on.
Take a picture.
Don't be shy.
Is this your baby?
Let me see those beautiful blues.
Look at the baby someone dropped off on my doorstep.
I don't know.
What did go wrong?
Darth Gordy says
All right.
Mars looking like Vader without his helmet under those covers. Let me look upon you with my own eyes.
Tell your sister she was right.
I hate you and I hate the 5th grade.
Let me look upon you with thine
With
own
my own
eyes.
eyes. Can I have some pudding?
Met another Mars.
Yeah,
Any chance he's your cousin? He is Irish. Attach photo.
Oh God.
I hope she sends a picture of Grogu.
Bottom right. Okay.
I'll send you a much better photo.
Oh my God.
This is amazing.
We'll see. She's probably pretty buzzy right now, so we'll see what she says.
He looks like the abominable snowman's clit.
The abominable? I don't look like the abominable.
You look like the world's least appetizing vagina. With that fucking robe.
How does one even?
How are you gonna bring the Bumble into this?
He didn't say the Bumble, he said abominable.
Yeah.
Abominable.
He's like the
Yeah.
Yukon Cornelius of insults. What the hell is happening?
From Snowman to the abominable Snowman.
I'm gonna take my pants off. It's too hot in here.
Did I say sorry, Colin?
You got Cornelius.
I don't have my veneer in level. This is not good.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. Why are you covering your lower part of your
I
face?
hope you're not feeling self-conscious for my sake. Like, do you, boo? I'm not gonna. There's nothing I could say that's worse than what Rocky's already saying.
Yeah, no, it's not. Baby. Yeah, no, it's not. Pro wrestling was bad to my face. And then I was watching then I got a veneer.
You look amazing.
And I was watching
It's okay.
I was watching a football game with Wolfie, and I broke the veneer with peanut brittle. And then I got another veneer, and the surgeons broke it. And then I made a veneer myself, but I don't know where I put it. In
Is that
my
the one
friend's house.
you whittled out of wood?
Mhm. I whittled the whittle veneer.
I whittled the whittle veneer. You fucking George Washington that shit.
It's heavy. It's so heavy. I have a lazy eye. I have a stroke. I have a cousin.
That motherfucking George Washington, that shit.
There's no electricity in all of the studio.
What is even happening?
I don't know, dude. This is bizarro
My arm
world.
is so tired right now.
Stop holding your own hand. Jesus.
I'm holding the phone. I'm holding you guys' hand.
Oh my god.
So sucks.
I've never witnessed an existential crisis unfold before my
Dude,
very eyes before.
This is weekly. I'm not even fucking lying to you. Mars takes us on a strange journey.
Oh god. What the fuck?
Sorry, I get distracted by my screensaver.
What is your screensaver?
What is it? Is it
Like
Gungan
cars.
titties?
What is it?
Wait, how are you gonna show it? Oh,
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
is it like a crime scene photo? What is it?
I don't know what it's for. It's like a highway and byway.
What?
Did you say there was another voicemail?
Yeah, there's two more.
Yeah.
In my country, we have things called highways.
This is too interesting. I don't.
No, it's really not. This is why the show goes long every week. You get fucking distracted by the tiniest thing. You are the dog in Up. Squirrel, every 5 seconds when somebody says some retarded, fucking stupid, fucking just hardly
I
fucking
don't think
sensical
you're supposed
stuff.
to say any of those words.
Yeah.
I tried to cover it up because I went there naturally because I'm high and still confused right now. So anyway, exactly. Thank you.
No squeezy. Now you have to put the jelly beans in your mouth. That is your punishment.
Yes, you need to put the Enzel and jelly beans in your mouth.
We need to know the metric volume of Enzillion dicks you can fit in your mouth.
Hello there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 3 and Zelendix in my mouth. It's like a potty in my mouth and everybody's coming.
That's graphic.
Give you a good guess of how many humans ding dong.
Flash zone.
I forget that Rachel hasn't heard half these things that we just take for granted anymore. Like I'll hear that splooge drop and not even think twice and just keep talking.
No, I can't tell if that's the gravy boat or is that someone tuning up their Slitherhorn.
I don't know, man. I am so confused by today.
All right, let's now on that note, let's
I'm
hear.
gonna go to the hospital if you don't say that voicemail. My mom is asleep.
Let's hear from Joshua.
Don't
Libre.
let him start again.
Joshua Libre. Let's hear from him.
Yo, what up, Force Insensitive? So, Mandalorian season 3, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like really action packed. I think it had I don't know, it felt more bigger in terms of like the action set pieces and the number of like characters and alien characters and CG characters. It felt like, I mean, I haven't done any research, but it feels like they spent a lot more money on this season. And you can tell, you know, from watching it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. To me, the highlight of, well, at least for my own personal highlight, my favorite part was seeing Ahmed Best as a Jedi rescuing Grogu. I got chills watching that. You know, I just had so many thoughts racing through my head. You know, I thought it was really cool how that whole scene just unfolded, and then him saying, "Oh, you know, my friends," and his friends turn out to be like Naboo peeps. You know, I was just like, man, that was just so fucking cool. And I was just thinking at the time, man, are we gonna see Padme? Are we gonna run into Padme or something in here? Are we going to Naboo? I was kind of excited. I wouldn't mind seeing something, you know, to see what happens after that, after the escape. But I thought that was cool. I wouldn't have mind seeing Representative Binks saving Grogu. I thought that would have been pretty cool. But I'm sure Jar Jar is live action. Jar Jar can be expensive, but yeah, to me that was a highlight of like my own personal favorite moment from the season. Obviously, I mean, the Mandalorians fighting fighting the I don't know, what do you call it, they're not First Order yet, Moff Gideon's army, I thought that was cool. Yeah, just like I said, just super action packed. There's a lot of cool action scenes. I like, it did feel like a series finale, just kind of putting all the characters in their right place, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was dope. The only thing, that I guess my only thing I liked the least, not that I hated it, I just didn't like it as much, was the Pershing episode. I thought it was a cool episode if the season was like 10 episodes. But yeah, I wasn't sure. I don't know. I haven't done any internet research. Did Pershing die? Did he become a vegetable? Did he just forget just the right amount of information that they wanted him to forget? I'm not sure about that. And also, like, I don't understand. I mean, it's probably something I just didn't catch, but I don't know why Gideon would want to get rid of Pershing if he's still cloning. And was he done cloning himself? I thought they would, I don't know, they would kind of keep him to, keep doing some consulting on his clones or something, but I don't know why they want to get rid of him if, they're trying to, if Gideon is trying to create this kind of clone army of himself,
I don't think
I
he wanted
don't know.
anyone else to have
It's
it.
probably something I missed. But yeah, cool episode. I wonder if, I guess they are going to do another season of Mandalorian. But yeah, can't wait for the next live action show. Can't wait to hear your guys' show. I probably won't be able to watch it completely live. Maybe I'll try to catch a little bit.
You missed out on some stuff.
It's finals week. More like finals month. But yeah, thank you guys for the time. Have a great show and talk to y'all later. Bye.
All right, Joshua Libre, as always, great to hear from you, buddy. And
That's that thing.
what were you saying, Marge? You said something. You were commenting on something he said about was it
I
the Pershing thing?
I think that he didn't want Gideon didn't want anyone else. The less people that had the cloning technology, the less people that have clones.
Well, I mean, also
that's the thing that they explained poorly.
He knows what he's up to, and he's lying even to the Imperial Remnant about what he's doing, and that guy knows everything.
Yeah, true.
So,
in Star Wars lore, actually, Pershing went on to genetically engineer a farm full of flat-faced cats. That still exists to this day.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What?
You got me. You got me, Mars. I was like, really? Tell me more about this extensive. Oh my god, he's talking about Persian cats. God damn it.
Oh, Mars.
All right, we got
Can
one.
you say that again, slowly, Rocky?
More sensually.
We.
I want to take all of you inside me.
I would have
all of your wee.
If I realized I could turn my camera off.
Show me the gooch, Daddy.
Bad baby.
I don't know what a gooch is.
What's good for the gooch is good for the gander, Mars.
It's that part on your hand between your thumb and your forefinger right here. That's the gooch, right?
We don't have that. We don't have that.
Well, I mean, when you're holding hands, you're gooch to gooch.
Yeah.
Taint that.
Mars taint misbehaving.
Taint misbehaving, son.
Do we have one more voicemail?
Yes, we do.
I'm bad at math.
You sure you don't want us to derail and talk for 20 minutes?
It's right about here.
Well, that's the gooch of the butt, but the gooch of the hand, everyone knows, is right here.
Wasn't that a movie in the 80s, Gooch of the Hand?
Gooch of the Hand?
That's Band in the Hand.
A gooch in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. What? Isn't that a saying? What?
It is now.
It's worth 2 in the. It's worth 2 in the Rancor butthole.
Yes. That's the saying. That old chestnut.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Doing the. That's what they say about it selling dick.
I hope the next voicemail is about Evil Dead Rise, because I don't have anybody to talk to it about.
I saw it. I'll talk
Talk to
about
Rachel about it.
I could come ruin somebody else's day.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's on the roster.
All right. Well, let's hear our last voice message, and this is from Colin, and I hope he gets all you motherfuckers back.
No. Oh,
I know
feel like
Colin.
We're about to get confronted, Mars.
No, you said you didn't know Colin, so
I know him now. It took me a minute to register, man.
We all know him now. He's the guy that hates us.
Yeah, you fucking
us
know.
off one by one.
You sold it for like 20 minutes. I don't know that person.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's that?
Rocky had him somewhere different in his Rolodex with D for doctor.
Dude, I don't remember everybody who sends me dick pics, man. Okay, dude, move on to the voicemail, fucker. Jesus
All right,
Christ.
let's
Poor
hear.
Rachel's looking like she's about to murder people.
All right. Let's hear from Colin.
Hey guys, it's Colin. Figured I'd call in. You guys have been thirsting for Colin, so here I am. Overall, really liked the episode. Season as a whole definitely could have been longer, should have been longer, but I mean overall, I'm just happy we're getting more Mandalorian. My one little thing with the last episode though was their fucking jetpacks, man. So how come in the earlier episode they can fly like walking distance, like a day's walking distance, like, oh, I'm out of fuel. But now we're flying halfway across the planet through the atmosphere, fucking doing a 20-minute fight scene, flying with our jetpacks. Yeah. Other than that, no. Great episode, and keep it up, guys. Love listening to you every week. Bye.
Well, see, Colin's a nice dude. He didn't put anyone on blast. He didn't talk shit about you guys.
I
Colin's a good dude.
apologize because it took me a while, but I apologize. It just, motherfucker, if he's listening to the show, he knows how high I am when this motherfucking show starts.
Yeah.
Guys,
Mars,
can I take a second to apologize to Colin?
you may.
Gotta be on camera though, there, sweet cheeks.
Yeah. It has to be genuine.
What?
Be on camera. Show your legitimacy.
Here's my legitimate face. You ready? Colin, I'm sorry I called you a serial killer. In the business, we just call that filler. Colin, I hope you like the show. Notice Book of Boba Fett. Cause this show is so fucking long, that episode's not even over yet. Colin, one day I want to hold your hand. Colin, I want to touch you where your bathing suit covers. Colin, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about Rocky and his paper asshole.
And he's not even talking about the printout.
I'm very delicate.
Is that's your apology?
He's teared up.
Are you tearing up? You made yourself cry with your song.
I feel bad. I was so mean.
Would your Mars, Rachel, cry at something like that? Maybe we can,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
but you would enjoy the song. Like if maybe you could.
Although this
make up one about her.
This Mars has been like he has gone through basically what Alex DeLarge went through in Clockwork Orange. He's be a very different person.
A bit of the old NL do that to you.
Yeah. Well,
Am I
hyperviolence.
different?
Yeah.
I know I'm
Ultraviolence.
different. I have a lazy eye now.
Now, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Well, for your IT, can you fix this?
A lazy eye?
Yeah.
IT?
Right in the job title. IT.
Johnny, can you pull out your monkey's paw?
That's not how the Force works.
Yeah. I honestly don't. I don't know where we go from here. Where do we go from here?
I feel really bad, Colin.
You should.
You know, you would be a very interesting socio-scientific experiment, Mars.
I already was.
I just
already was.
I just want to poke you with sharp objects.
For free?
If you're not going to charge me, yeah.
Can work for that.
You have a very fuckable left nostril.
Can we nub? I am really broken up about this stuff.
Really?
My eye is lazy. I had a stroke. There's no electricity in this whole town.
It's growing.
The town that dreaded electricity.
Is it an Amish village? Like, are you broadcasting from a horse and buggy? What?
He's like the professor. He's got a couple of coconuts rigged up to a bicycle.
You can do a better Rumspringer than this, I promise.
Better. He looks like a motherfucker who never came back from Rumspringer. Dude, Mars, you've got to look.
What's Rumshaker?
Rumspringer there.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, Johnny. Wrap it up.
I can't wait to see Jebediah's sex tape.
Don't talk to me about Rumshaker, Rocky. That's all we talked about this.
It's more like a kaleidoscope,
Never talk to
though.
me about Rumshaker.
Hand crank it.
Dude, I swear to fuck, man. Oh, this is where Johnny just left.
He's there.
No,
He's
I'm
there.
I'm just in awe.
I really didn't know what to expect with doing. We've only done a handful of these live fucking streams, and they just get weirder and weirder and weirder. So
yeah.
I'm watching Mars, and I'm just in awe.
What are you in awe of?
I mean, he almost looks human at angles.
Does my cousin wait? Where does my cousin live now?
In Portland, Oregon.
Ooh, Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
What's the address?
Would you also like her social security
What?
number?
Jesus Christ, great.
You already took us on a tour of someone's house we could rob later.
Yeah, well, there's no electricity here, so next time.
So
I'll show
no
you the
security
night time.
system.
You're the best house sitter.
I'm not being creepy. I'm just looking for some place with an outlet.
I just really hope that you're not wearing pants and you're rolling your fucking sassy, sweaty fucking crotch stinker all over that fucking couch.
Stinker?
I am doing something I've never done on.
I feel like
a
Rocky
live
has
broadcast.
additional anatomy we're not familiar with.
I've never worn. I've never worn pajamas on a video podcast. So I'm doing it for fun.
Okay.
It's
So
just,
I tried-
it's just a,
You asked me
I think it's just a
to say it.
phase,
Blink
Mars.
twice if you need help, Mark.
show us a newspaper with today's date. so
Are
that
you
we
holding
know you're
yourself
okay.
captive?
I didn't even want to hang out with you. Glad you find my slow decline into insanity funny, Rocky.
I do it every week, dude.
In you dumb Canada.
Oh, you know what? We have before we go though, we do have a surprise guest that's going to hang out with us. Let me go ahead.
There's always some reason.
And if it would actually push.
My is so
there we go.
Oh no! No! You're rubbing my trauma in my face. Oh, no.
Lumpy has some good trauma.
See, we didn't inform you that before we let everybody go from the podcast, he sterilizes us each week by showing us that.
I
so
mean,
that
we
none of
don't
us can
belong in the
reproduce.
gene pool, so that's probably good.
He should have gone and sterilized our parents if he really wanted to make a difference.
Oh, good old Lumpy.
Oh,
Maple, come here and hold this phone. Maple, come here.
Oh, Lumpy.
Hold the phone.
You know, Lumpy gets Mars fully erect.
Yeah. Lumpy waits
Right.
till Grandpa goes to bed and then gets in the masturbatorium.
Watch the space porn.
Colin commented on your song, Mars. He says, he just said, ha, 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 I'm crying. Johnny, please clip just that and send it to me. He said he's crying.
I'm crying too.
I forgive you,
Everybody's
Mars. He
I
forgives
think we're
you.
all
I miss my
crying.
cat. How about that, Rocky? You gonna think that's funny? I miss my cat.
I just want to lower my balls into your mouth until it looks like you got a George Lucas goiter.
All right, that's the yub nub that we've been waiting for. There's not going to be a better time to end this episode.
You guys have
So-
been saying how to kink shame people all night.
Rachel, thank you so much for enduring this and putting up with
Thanks for
us.
inviting me.
Tell folks where they can hear Zombie
You owe
Girls.
me $5.
Yeah, I'm not plugging my show after that. You want more of this, you're going to have to come and find me.
Maybe there's a long lost cousin out there. Oh, god
That's the
damn.
ultimate screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah. All
Fuck
right.
you guys. I'm out.
Well, that is the show. Thank you guys for tuning in for this. Next week, we're going to do Bad Batch, back to Bad Batch. And that's it. Say bye, everyone.